All right, we are live and in living color, as they say. Nate, you could probably go ahead and flip that switch on Instagram Live, and we will rock and roll. Let's see.
I don't see any way to my go live button is not working.
Rutro, it may be set anyhow. I'll check it in just a second. It says we're live on Instagram right now. So if you're watching on Instagram, obviously I don't think that our comments will hear, but
We'll just figure it out.
yep, it is it's gonna work one way or the other. All right, I am sharing our post. If you're joining us any place, anywhere, drop us a line, drop us your comments, your questions, because we are here to chat with you for a couple of hours, and we're excited to be here. I'm excited to be here. I don't want to speak for you, buddy, but I would assume you feel the same as me.
I am having the most fun ever. I've found a new love in college baseball that I suppose I always had in a different way. But I've been loving watching Supers.
It has been just the best, hasn't it?
It's been a good time, man. It's been a really good time. Looks like Twitter's going. So
all right, Twitter's going, that one for sure. What's up, everybody? Got people watching? Please stick around with us because we are talking Super Regionals. Obviously, if you can gather by the hat, I'm a bit concerned with what's going on in Fayetteville. Don't exactly know how to take that. That was a beautiful looking pitch from Liam Doyle. Ryder Helfrich, Arkansas catcher, has caught fire lately. Will, I'm going to need you to watch your mouth, Big Willie style. Look, it's funny, actually. I said the same thing, Will. I was like, I'd be so mad if it was some yokel, but I mean, honestly, Davalon's a professional as well. Doyle left it too far over the plate. There's nothing else you can say other than that. It was too far over the plate, and you can't do that against a hitter as talented as Davalon because even he's got enough sneaky pop to put it over the fence, and it was not even over the fence. It was like to the third floor of the building in right field. So annoyed. Let's see. Let me double check and make sure YouTube is live and rolling.
Yeah, sorry, I'm going through all the socials and promoting right now.
Oh, of course. If you don't mind, we need to try to make sure that everything is kosher on Insta as well.
It's just not. It's not letting me click go live.
Weird.
So I might be a casualty. We do not have a huge fan base over there too, so I think we might survive.
Okay, that'll work. So it says maybe this is it. Oh, you shared it. Okay, that's dope. So it said you'd see us. This is absolutely embarrassing, but as I've told you many times, I am the old man, and Instagram is not my first priority. That said, let's see. I don't even know how to find Instagram Live.
Yeah, it was like a big thing a couple of years ago. I don't think people use it too much anymore.
Then who cares? If it works, it works. If not, that's cool because there's plenty of games going on. Like I said, Nate, I do know as well. Closer to you, UCLA, UTSA, rolling on. I believe it's still scoreless. Am I right?
Yep. Scoreless. Pretty good game yesterday over there. And then, that Oregon State, Florida State game, man. I did not feel great in picking Oregon State to win that Super, and they won game one. And now there's the winner take all game today. So I'm really excited to watch. That's our nightcap. That's our Pac-12 after dark, which I miss so deeply. So tonight I'm going to be enjoying that one.
It's going to be good. Oh my gosh. All right. So if you're at home wondering where in the world is the face of baseball media, he will be joining us very soon. Reese B. White, as it were. We know right now Liam Doyle facing Kuhio Aloy. That is Vahiva's younger brother. I believe he flew out to Andrew Fisher in his first at bat. Yep, flew out. Batting .332 this year with 13 bombs and with a man on. This is not a pleasant hitter for Doyle to be facing.
Golden Spikes finalists. I think that was just announced, right?
3 Golden Spikes finalists. You've got Alex Lodiz from Florida State, Liam Doyle, and then Vahiva Aloy from Arkansas. So 2 Golden Spikes finalists squaring off in what could be It is the most pivotal game of the season for Tennessee.
Yeah.
And Doyle's up 0-2 at 60 pitches, top third. I do not like that, Sam. I am.
How many do you think he goes, though? Good pick.
Okay. Yep. Catch him. Out.
There you go.
Out. No.
No. What's going on?
That's cool. Totally cool.
It's okay. You're 0-2 with 2 outs. It happens.
I'll just expect that call back later. And if you're watching at home, keep up with them for me because I won't be able to keep up with how many Tennessee's owed at the end of this. I mean, acrobatic, wonderful job from Malloy, but come on. Like, hello? Oh man, at the top of this inning, or excuse me, at the break, I've got something that we need to talk about, obviously, because all right, Hunter Inslee exists. Good. All right, so since we've last met, since we've last had a live stream, we have seen several teams stamp their ticket to Omaha, including a matchup that I am giddy to see. We have got a rematch, if I'm not mistaken, of the 2016 College World Series final, Arizona versus Coastal Carolina. That's going to be insanity. Just for the history alone, what a matchup.
Yeah, I was in middle school when that happened, so I wasn't watching too much back then. But I know that Coastal's one and only Omaha appearance they won it all. So I'm assuming that they're going to win it all again. I have fully joined the Coastal bandwagon. I watch every game just to kind of watch my buddy pitch and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm super excited to kind of see what Coastal can do in Arizona, man, taking down North Carolina. I did not see that coming. A couple people had said Arizona was sneaky, but I thought North Carolina was one of the best teams.
Oh, they were.
So they were. That one surprised me quite a bit.
It's difficult to discount North Carolina because obviously, a loss stings, but man, Arizona came in with something to prove and they proved it. They really dominated. And moreover, I guess they kind of withstood the offensive storm. And you have to credit them. You have to give them credit. Speaking of storms, series of intense games between Louisville and Miami that's going to result in the team that I have somehow found myself the champion of, Louisville, going to Omaha. But going to Omaha, coming here, who else would it be but the free-range human, the face of baseball media, Reese B. White.
Hey, what's up, guys? For some reason, I'm only hearing you in one AirPod. Let me log off and then log back on real quick.
Okay, as quick as he comes, there he goes. Reese B. White is out of here.
Later, fellas.
Reese White, just as promised. And we are going to get a quote from Tony Vitello. Vitello spits on camera. Love that. Like literally like, ugh. Okay. Just as the commentators rubbing it in, Tennessee can't get a leadoff man on. Let's get a leadoff man on, baby.
Yeah. I need the Vitello beard, whatever he does with that beard. I need that beard.
It's good looking. I like mine to be a bit too long. I like length in the chin, but it's a good look. It's a good look.
I've been told to be a college coach, I need to transition from a mustache guy to a beard guy.
Okay.
I've never been a beard guy, so I gotta figure that out.
Well, I mean, the stash is beautiful. You've got a great stash, so I think that it would develop really nicely.
Yeah, just gotta go through the awkward phase, I suppose.
That's always a thing. You got to do it. Okay. Another one up the middle. That's 2 on for the Vols. Can we keep it going? Mitch chiming in from YouTube. What up, Mitch? Do Will and Nate have a Twitter profile picture bet? I do not believe they have established one yet today, but I'm sure that we could figure one out.
I called
I
him
thought
out.
about, yeah, he did. I thought about trying to do something for myself today, like some kind of a side bet, but I realized that my blood pressure is already going to be here. So it's just not for the best. But if anybody else wants to, I would be happy to encourage it, Mitch. Any ideas out of you, man? What would be a good one? Do you want to? Should we say like do it for the nightcap, or do we want to do it based on this? I mean, Arkansas and Tennessee. I mean, Will clearly loves Charles Davalon so much. Can we go Keelan with the shot to left?
Stuff's happening.
Lord Jesus,
It's happening, Drew. It's
Lord
happening.
Jesus, hear my prayer.
No outs. Space is loaded.
With the big fish coming up.
I mean, honestly, Mitch, I'm ready to call you out to get on this stream when Drew and Reese leave 4 p.m. Get on here. Let's make a bet. Here. If you're not on here at 4 at the minimum, trying to make a bet with me, then I don't want to say it, but I might have to call you out on Twitter as well.
Do it. I'm so uninvolved, so I'm just like poking you guys.
I know.
Okay, all right. Gotta lock in. Can't be a douchebag right now to you and Mitch. Can't be a douchebag to Will. Got to be thankful and grateful.
Yeah, we got a big moment here. We got a big moment here.
Reese, welcome to the peak of anxiety.
Welcome back to myself. I don't think anyone's ever done that before. Nate, what's up with the Braves hat? Were you just following Jared Kelenic and his entire career?
So actually, yes.
Okay, so you're gonna follow his KBO team soon.
I almost got a Kelenic Atlanta jersey when he got traded.
I'm sorry.
I was like his biggest fan. I met him once. He gave me a signed hat, which was pretty cool. I gave him a kayak.
That's super cool.
I don't know.
Okay, wait, hold up. We're not gonna skip over.
Please.
What kayak?
Yeah.
All right. First of all, Drew, Tennessee just scored. Feeling okay there.
Sorry about that.
I'm happy. 1 on, 2 out. I mean, I don't like the. I'll take the run.
Any run's a good run. So yeah, I was a kayak tour guide in high school for 3 summers, out here in the Pacific Northwest on Elliott Bay, out here in Seattle. So Jared came in the day after playing in the Futures game. He came back to Seattle and rented a kayak on his off day or whatnot. And I had heard rumors that he was going to get called up like right after the All-Star break. So like he just appeared, and I was like a one of 4,000 Instagram followers. Like I was a guy back then with Jared. And then he just shows up in my kayak shop and I'm like, "You're Jared Kelenic." And he's like, "I am." And I was like, "Are you getting called up this week?" And he was like, "Don't tell anyone, but yes." And I was like,
sick.
"I'll give you this kayak for free, man. Welcome to Seattle." And then he came back and gave me a signed hat. We got a picture. It was sweet.
Oh, nice. Okay.
That's such a cool story.
I want to know the full backstory. Sorry, I'm in the middle of tagging for the daily sheet. I should have done that before I jumped on. Okay, so Tennessee just scored a run.
Well hit off of the bat of Fisher too, and I mean he was hustling. Kylan was hustling. I mean, there's nothing wrong there. Nothing wrong there. Happy, pleased. Guys, since we're on commercial, no better time for a question than now. Ethan Thomas chiming in on YouTube. Ethan, what up, dog? Says, how realistic is a Coastal Carolina natty? They seem to have a decent closer. Nate, you want to handle that one?
Yeah, Ethan, what's up, Big Slink? He was one of our teammates at Bellevue.
I assume
he knows Ryan pretty well. Man, I think it's realistic at this point. That might have the best closer in the nation, man. I think we're below a 0.6 ERA at this point.
I gotta say, I'm not trying to push back on your boy, but if we are looking at Arizona Coastal as a first matchup, he and Tony Pluta is going to be a matchup of ace closers. I mean, insane. Did we heard Mason White today say that Tony Pluta was the best pitcher in the nation?
Yeah.
That is high praise.
I think it's a good matchup too. Starting pitching. I mean, I like Coastal with like 3 good starters. And then now we're seeing like Bodine hit for power and stuff and like become the star kind of in front of our eyes. Like he kind of was having a down power year.
Yes.
And now he's kind of turning it up in the biggest moments. Like you get under those Omaha lights, man, anything can happen.
Anything can happen.
They definitely should be in the favorites category, in my opinion.
I mean, what are we looking at right now? A season with 53 wins? Is that right? Am I
I don't think
off?
they've lost in over a month. Yeah, they're in the 50s.
It is next level heat coming from this team. And Nate, you have kind of put them on your back between the pitching staff with Bodine. You've really kind of owned the Coastal Carolina love. So, Ethan, let's play game time as per your question. As of right now, assuming that Coastal Carolina, we don't know the rest of the 8, but we know for sure they have at least a 12.5% chance at a national championship. Nate, what would you raise that to for Coastal?
I think the only team that I would assuredly take over Coastal is LSU and maybe Arkansas, Tennessee winner. Those are the only 2 teams. So I think it's probably 20, 25%. Maybe that's a lot, maybe more like 20. I think LSU should be the favorite. And then Arkansas, Tennessee, whoever wins that. I don't like UCLA over them. I don't like Louisville over them. Duke, Murray State, no. Florida State, Oregon State, I don't like it over Coastal, in my opinion. Pick the hottest team, and they're the hottest team in the country right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Reese, let's kick it to you, man. What are the odds? Again, going into it with the 12.5 for Coastal to win the national championship, what are the odds that they can pull it off, assuming
I'm a little lower than Nate, but it's still above a 12.5% chance. I'm going to say like a 15% chance that they pull it off. I still think that LSU, the winner of this Arkansas, Tennessee Super Regional, is better than them. Although you don't really want to be talking bad about Coastal right now. Their fans seem to be kind of up in arms because they've been disrespected all season. You know, they're a power conference team, as I believe, I forget who came up with that term, but they're one of the best non-power 4 conference. I mean, they could beat a lot of power 4 conference teams, honestly. So I don't know. I'm going to say 15% chance.
Just to round it out, I think I'm between the two of you. I don't think I'd quite go to 20 just yet because, I mean, the winner of Arkansas, Tennessee is going to be my horse to ride the rest of the way. But I agree that LSU is so dangerous. I do agree with Nate though. Those are the ones that I think I would take over Coastal right now. Florida State looks good, but I mean they're gonna have to close, and so we'll see how that goes. Thanks for the question, Ethan. Drop us some more, bro. And we're glad to have any former teammate of our boy Nate on with us.
There's another one. The next comment's
yeah, I was about to say
another
I'm assuming because Evan Holman, what up? He says, what do you think of Cam Hoyland Legacy Regional last weekend? So we're talking about Cal Poly's Cam Hoyland. What's the word, Nate? What do you think?
Yeah, so Cam has just went on a run this whole year, really, but kind of asserted himself into the Cal Poly lineup and played. He was the best hitter in that whole regional, in my opinion, just based on what he was doing. Hit an oppo tank down in Eugene. Cam absolutely killed it this year, man, and I wish that Cal Poly team, would have finished the job. But obviously, Arizona has kind of proven that they are where they deserve to be. But it was fun watching them, man. It was really fun watching them.
Reese, thoughts on Cam Hoyland and on the Cal Poly, their slow slip out of contention?
Their slow slip. I don't know if you know, people out here in California call them Cal Poly slow, so it's actually perfect. The San Luis Obispo. But I agree with everything that Nate said. I think that, unfortunately they weren't able to get it done in their regional, but I mean, still, one of the better programs in the country. I think that everything's going to be great. Cam Hoyland was fantastic. Yeah. Speaking of Arizona, do you guys I did not have that on. I mean, I'm looking back on our predictions, right? That is one that we all clearly whiffed on. We thought that North Carolina was just in a different stratosphere. I think one of us mentioned, probably me, that it looks like North Carolina is playing a different sport than Arizona. And man, was I wrong? I think we were all wrong, but I was really wrong.
We were all off, but I think that it was, again, good process, bad results. North Carolina had looked untouchable for much of the postseason. I mean, honestly, until they ran up. I still think that it was good process, bad results there. But no, we all were very off there. Nate, any thoughts on that, on North Carolina, their elimination?
I had them picked as my favorite. Doing the D1 baseball the projection thing or whatever, I picked them to win it all. So I'm very surprised. But man, it just makes me like Arizona just that much more. And I suppose that after seeing Vandy and Texas and some of these other favorites bow out, this just wasn't a strong top tier of teams this year. It was really just it was anyone's game, as we can see by Murray State dominating today. It really is just anyone's game, which makes me like teams like Coastal even more. Is LSU next? Are they really poised for this deep run? I don't know, man.
Oh, we got arms moving in the Tennessee bullpen.
Also, Liam
why wouldn't it be his third hit against the lefty this season? Of course it is. That's awesome.
Liam Doyle had he had a throw a pickoff attempt so bad that it took the first baseman off the bag and everything like that just before that pitch. But yeah,
I missed
How you feeling, Drew?
I'm probably at an 8 out of 10 on the anxiety and blood pressure level. So not doing super great. Not doing super great, but I mean, it's still, the night is young, but I am not. And so every pitch is like an eternity for me.
I think this game's going to go to the bullpen soon on both sides.
I feel, yes. And from that perspective, I still feel good, but not great. I think it's a nice looking pitch. Golly. 71 in the top 4 for Doyle. So, oh my gosh. Guys, positive news. Thus far, we've had at least 371. I believe we're probably still at a high number. I can't commit because I'm not on the Twitter machine looking right now, but at least 372 watching us right now or through the day in not even 30 minutes of being live. I believe we have eclipsed the number we were at last week. So fabulous work to us.
With very minimal promotion on our part, too.
Incredibly minimal promotion on our part.
Some might say no promotion.
Like anything good, we just
not blaming anybody.
Like anything good, we kind of just are like, hey, let's do this thing, and then we just do it. And that's how this band works. We're like, hey, y'all free to record, and then we all of a sudden pump out a Grammy winner. That's how it goes. Yeah, Tony, easy. Let's
UTSA getting some things moving.
Let's do this thing.
Question from Twitter. Some guy named Adam says, which team is most likely to score 19 runs in a game in Omaha, and why is it still Murray State? Nate, I'll pitch that one to you first, buddy.
I had the pleasure of writing about Murray State on our last week's regional coverage on our daily sheet, and that lineup is so dang deep. And the pitching staff is going to struggle, but they have this lockdown guy in Graham Kellum who's come out of nowhere, who's been closing games for them, and they'll have him tomorrow. The Murray State offense is as good as almost any offense in this thing, and they've proven it against really good competition. It's all going to be about the pitching staff, though. Can they hold up? Because their games are all going to be 19-9, 15-12. It's going to be borderline football scores out of them. So it's just, can the offense handle that kind of burden, knowing that you have to put up 10 plus runs a game from here on out? And it's not going to get any easier in Omaha. So the Cinderella run is absolutely possible when you have that high caliber offense, but I think pitching wins in Omaha, in my opinion. And that is one thing that they're lacking a little bit, but I'm all in on the Racers, right?
Reese, to you, buddy. What teams are still most likely to score 19 runs? Do you think it's Murray State?
I think it's Murray State. That offense is just humming. Things would have to go. I mean, the rest of these teams, it hasn't really been, especially today, it's kind of been low scoring ish games, 4-3, outside of the Murray State game. That was bonkers. Arizona won 4-3, Louisville won 3-2. So, I mean, Murray State, the way their offense is rolling right now, it's kind of the most, it's going to be an interesting thing to see if their pitching can just, limit that. All you have to do is win by 1 run, and Murray State has the ability to score that 1 extra run. It's just, can their pitching staffs put them in a good spot?
Word.
How you feeling about your West Virginia boys?
So
Reese?
Louisville. I'm feeling great. I am. I'm still sitting there. Me and all 16 people in West Virginia are doing great. We're not worried at all. Just got to win today. Take it day by day.
It's the right mindset.
I've been thinking if UTSA pulls off, and advances to Omaha, what should I buy of theirs? Like, should I buy a hat? I was on Twitter asking about a hat, and then Nate had to bully me on Twitter. Or should I buy a polo? Should I buy a shirt? Should I get a tattoo? I'm just kidding. I'm not getting a tattoo. What should I do to celebrate my call?
You need a hat, man. I wonder if they make the umbrella hats in UTSA blue and orange.
Joining us super quickly while you guys are discussing, Big Willie style himself, he who survived the Twitter profile picture bet. Will Thompson,
I did.
how are you, sir?
I wanted to. I'm doing well. First of all, very smart decision to intentionally walk Chuck Davalon, by Tennessee there. Number two, to defend myself on the profile thing, because Nate informed people that he called me out, and I didn't take up the bet. There just wasn't a series that I felt strongly enough to put that much on the line about, and I'm not going to be. I can't be peer pressured into a profile picture bet. But you know what? I'll see if there's any games tomorrow, and then I'll see if there's anyone I feel really strongly about, and then I could propose it to Nate. So maybe.
I just got to pull this up because I gave Will about 5 different options. I said I'd take Murray State,
and I didn't feel great about Duke. Clearly, saw today.
Couple more questions, guys. Really quick, Nate. Mitch is curious. Who you got? Florida State, Oregon State?
If this is a proposed bet, Mitch, I'm all in. I would take.
Hold on. Actually, okay, Mitch, you'll have to let us know in a comment. Is this a proposed bet? If so, we know who Nate wants. We'll go to that. But from the Twitter machine, a question from Rylan Babe. Rylan, what's up? He says, bigger disappointment, UNC or Auburn? Will, first of the show to join us. Who you got here?
I'd say UNC. I think that the Auburn Coastal series. I think just with how hot that Coastal was and their the arms that they had, I wasn't that surprised that certainly it's a disappointment, but I wasn't super surprised that Coastal went in there and won. But I think for UNC, it was definitely a really big disappointment. And I was given how well they were playing, and especially given the fact that they went up, the absolute beating they put on Arizona in game 1. Winning 18-2 and then losing the next 2 on your home field, I think it's really tough to swallow. So for me, it's a good question, but I think for me, it'd be UNC.
Reese, what about you, buddy? Who's the bigger disappointment? The Tar Heels or the Tigers?
I think it has to be UNC. I think UNC, we were just talking about them, going into this weekend, Omaha favorite? Omaha favorites, the best offense, everything was sort of clicking for them. They were getting good timely pitching. And all of a sudden, boom, Arizona, which has had an up and down season. Summerhill has been, it's been a weird season for him. He's been in and out of the lineup. He's been pinch hitting at certain points. Mason White has been inconsistent at times, but now Mason White is just, that the entire offense is just sort of clicking all of a sudden right when they need it. They got a good pitching staff too, but yeah, UNC I think is the bigger disappointment in my mind.
Nate, what about you, buddy? Who you got here? Bigger disappointment?
Yeah, I had UNC in probably a tier above Auburn heading into this thing. So I would just kind of echo what the guys have already said. I didn't think Auburn was like a win it all kind of team, in my opinion, and Coastal kind of proved that, kind of dismantling those guys in a sweep, right? That's hard to do in a super. So yeah, UNC.
I think we're all in agreement. UNC. I mean, again, we talked about it on deck. How UNC. I'll echo you, Reese. We said they looked like they were playing a different game. I mean, that's facts. But Auburn was a team that I expected good performance out of, but not. I am sorry, guys. I am absolutely.
That was a tough one right there. For
those
who aren't watching, wild pitch from Tennessee there at the bases loaded to score a run. Arkansas is now leading 3-1 over our Tennessee Volunteers, Drew. It'll be okay. A lot of game left.
Drew, do you like pulling Doyle?
I don't. Season's on the line. Ride your horse. Like, I mean, and it's Liam Doyle. He is psychotic enough that if you put him up here against another Golden Spikes guy, the season's going to live or die based on what happens today. Let it live or die with Liam Doyle.
Oh, brother.
Pull his ass. I'm sorry.
We're falling apart.
Oh, man.
Oh.
Yeah,
man.
That's exactly why I asked Drew. I totally agree with you. He's what, like 70, high 70s, 80 pitches around there? I don't know, man.
I think he was like 80.
Ugh.
UCLA just scored another run, playing a lot of small ball over there in LA. They're up 2-0 on UTSA. Some good bunts out of the UCLA squad.
Ugh.
I'm so sorry for swearing, guys, but I'm so infuriated right now.
It's very impressive, Drew, that you're brave enough to go on a live stream when your team plays an elimination game. I don't think I could say the same for myself.
So I wanted to schedule this for later, but we realized that we would get probably more viewers this way, and we realized that we would get more interaction and likely better content with my misery. So, I mean, theoretically, we were correct. Let's take it to a question from Mitch really quickly because we are going to the pen. The Lord heard my prayer. We're going to get AJ Russell here. So, Mitch, curious, Nate, to you directly, is it a 1 week bet? But yeah, why not? Pick who you want. So, Nate, we are going to see. We're going to see this. Actually, I'm going to put you on pause, Nate, to think, because we're going to get another question from Rylan Bain on the Twitter machine. Rylan says, "Is Andrew Fisher the most hated college baseball player since Drew Gilbert in Fayetteville, Arkansas?" Yes, I would argue that if in the state of Tennessee, he may be the most beloved college baseball player since name a player from last year's squad. I know Blake Burke was loved. Christian Moore was loved. Lots of players that just had a great reputation among Tennessee. But Tennessee, I've heard it said so many times this weekend that I'm starting to believe it myself. Apparently we're villains, so whatever. If the orange hat needs to be black for this narrative to be accurate, whatever. I don't care. But I would say, yeah, Rylan, that's a great call. What do you think, Reese? Fisher most hated since Gilbert?
I would have to imagine. So I as someone who doesn't really have the biggest rooting interest in college baseball, I didn't like Drew Gilbert's, and I like them, but like I can understand why people wouldn't have liked them. I mean, you had him and Jordan Beck. Jordan Beck was also not a very likable character if you are not a Tennessee fan as well, given the bird to an opposing outfielder. So, yeah, I would imagine that, it just sort of comes with the territory of being a very, like loud, exciting team and that plays a very brash brand of baseball that, you're just going to get players that are just routinely hated on more than I think that they should be.
All right, Will, let's take it to you, buddy. What do you think? Most hated player in college baseball since Drew Gilbert. Is that the Big Fish?
That's a great question. It's funny because Reese, you actually said that the guy that I was thinking when I was thinking of most hated player in college baseball. Like I think that to me, who comes to mind is Jordan Beck. But with the whole flipping the bird and all that stuff. So is Fisher more hated than Gilbert or Beck? I don't think so, but it's it's very individualized, and certainly in Fayetteville, Arkansas, like they're in the middle of the super. I can understand Fisher being hated more than all of them. But for me personally, just like, not that I'm a Tennessee fan or an SEC fan, but it does seem that to me, I would think that Beck would be more than. But it's all opinion based. I could see the argument either way.
Drew's absolutely locked in here, so I'm going to take over hosting duties so he can.
I'm sorry.
No, I'm going to let you have a blood pressure break here, my friend.
Thanks.
Rylan is one of my good buddies. He actually texted me and asked me if you could ask this question. I love it. A little agent
sweet of him to text and ask.
I know. He's the best.
Tell him to send as many questions as he wants. I'm glad he's watching.
So yeah, I'm sure you will. But I didn't like Gilbert or Beck. I don't know. I do think, like, as a non-SEC guy, I do think of like almost all SEC players who are like have antics as kind of like villains in a sense. But like, I enjoy a little bit of chaos in baseball. I don't think there's anything wrong with being a villain.
But if you bring a prop on the field like 2 inches, though, that's where the NCAA draws the line.
Yeah, how dare you?
Not flipping off the opposing team. You know,
Nope.
That's
Nope. Or Root yesterday, or going insane as, oh boy.
Oh no.
I'm sorry. That's just so bad by Vitello. It's so bad.
Moment of silence. 90 off the bat.
Yeah.
You know, it's bad when they don't change the score bug for a while.
Great point.
Checking in on UTSA, UCLA. Looks like there's a challenge going on over there.
Yeah.
That's his first career Grand Slam. I guess when you only have like 5 career home runs in 4 years, kind of makes sense, right? Not that I'm bagging on Maxwell or anything like that. I just know he's older. Like he's been around for a while. Kind of surprised me.
You get a power boost when you're playing in a playoff environment. I think that's a real thing, man.
Yeah. Wow. You know, there's obviously still a lot of game left, but Tennessee offense hasn't really shown a whole lot in this series. And so, your margin of error is probably going to be small against this Arkansas pitching staff.
Will, can you do me a favor?
Mhm.
Will you just like double point downward now? Like on camera, just
double point downward?
Yeah.
Like
thank
that?
you. Yeah.
Why?
Because the comment says, "Oh no," and that's probably the most accurate thing that I could have said. So, okay. Well, I came back from my break, and I still think I may need to take another one in a minute. But I'm curious, what's going on with UCLA and UTSA?
Small ball, man. It's been a small ball central so far. But UTSA is like quieted it's only a 2-0 game. Like, shout out to the UTSA pitching staff. UCLA has been putting up runs like nobody's business the last couple of weeks. It looks like we might even have a pitching change here, maybe just a visit. But a 2-0 game for a good UTSA offense is 100% within reach, and that's kind of all you can ask for if you are UTSA right now.
It's been a well played series between these two teams. It's been pretty clean and good pitching on both sides. A lot of strike throwing. I think this is, the name escapes me, but this is UTSA's best reliever coming in. I don't know why I'm blanking on the name.
That's all right, man.
They pulled their starter at only 69 pitches. Reese, can I get a nice?
That's not nice. Pulling a pitcher that early, I think we're seeing that it's not a good idea to pull your starter pretty early.
I think that shows that they have faith in their bullpen, right? I think maybe they shouldn't, but they do clearly.
Yeah.
Another question from Rylan. My boy is he's delivering, asking the questions just like I asked. He said, "Is UCLA UTSA one of the most boring supers ever? UCLA shouldn't host again." Reese, defend your home state.
I don't listen. As someone who has outwardly said I don't understand UCLA hosting, I don't think I disagree at all. I don't know. It's not been a super exciting one. I mean, I think every other super and every other regional was more exciting than what's going on there. I mean, I can't wait for LSU and West Virginia. I've been looking forward to any other game but this UTSA UCLA game, if I'm going to be 100% honest. But yeah, I don't disagree with them at all.
Will, what about you, buddy? What are you thinking?
To me, I think the games have been pretty solid, I'm not a SoCal guy, but it doesn't seem like there's, the environment has a ton of juice. And I don't know. It's just like LA is not really a college baseball crazy, market or anything like that. So I think that has to do a lot with the boringness factor, which I agree with. I think that the games have been pretty low scoring, but yeah, you're right. There's not with how much is on the line. It doesn't seem like there's a whole lot of juice in the environment of the crowd, and I think that contributes to it.
It's
Before we
also
kick
a
it,
pain in the behind to get to UCLA Stadium. Like it is like right off, like two of the worst interchanges ever. Like I think in the entire country. So it's not fun. And I know last weekend I think it was Dodgers and Yankees were in towns, or the Yankees were in town in a World Series rematch. So that might have been something that contributed to it. But yeah, it is not an easy place to get in and out of.
Nate, before we throw it to you, I'll kind of just piggyback off what Will and then you, Reese, were saying to just kind of emphasize that I don't know that LA is the crowd for college baseball, because I think if you were to pick, I think if you were to randomize any of the non-hosting SEC or even ACC schools and put this regional in that stadium, even without a likelihood of having their fans, I would assume that you're going to have more electricity there. Nate, I'm going to throw it to you here, buddy. What do you think about the UCLA UTSA Super? And then after that, we have another question we've got to get back to. I just realized that my mental breakdown disrupted something from earlier.
I think the only West Coast, like, are there really any like baseball schools on the West Coast other than Oregon State? In my opinion, like the one like baseball school on the West Coast that can draw a crowd and will have people travel is Oregon State. They show up for baseball. Like Eugene doesn't. Like if I'm being like they don't. And I almost judge that by like if the host team gets eliminated, is there still a crowd there? Like we didn't see that at really any other West Coast regionals. And I just don't think it's a great environment for like baseball is played in the South now. That's just kind of how it goes. And I've never seen like a good crowd at a baseball game other than Oregon State on the West Coast.
There you go.
I remember years ago I went to Vandy versus UCLA. I watched Kumar Rocker pitch, and it wasn't even a
I remember
sold out
that series.
crowd. Half the players there, half the people that were there were Vandy/UCLA commits that were there to like watch the game. High schoolers to watch the game, and then me and a bunch of scouts and my dad before the world shut down and everything like that. So it's not like it's like I said. I think it's hard to get into that stadium. It's very nice when you're there. It's a very beautiful like setup and everything like that. But it's not easy to get in. The parking lot makes no sense. You get lost in the parking lot for an hour. It's right by a hospital, so that's also hard too. And yeah, UCLA just doesn't have like the star power to attract. I mean, there's so much going on in LA, and there's not the like Nate was just saying. I don't think there's really a West Coast school outside of Oregon State that can kind of bring in people, because what's going on in Corvallis outside of Oregon State, right? Like it's not like where in other places there's a lot of stuff going on. Part of me wonders if UCLA does host, they'd have to put it somewhere else. But then like that, I really hate it when you do like a neutral site host. Like I know Santa Barbara had to do that back in the day. They came all the way down from Santa Barbara to like the Inland Empire, which is like 3, 4, like 5 hours away. So yeah, I just don't think there's that draw. So maybe it makes me wonder if the selection committee will next time heavily factor that in. Just put the UCLA as like a high ranking 2 seed if they're good next year.
There you go.
And I know that money is ultimately the driving factor in college sports, and football is the driving factor. But I also it doesn't help, and I don't think it probably wouldn't have changed the environment either way. But it doesn't really get people excited about UCLA baseball either when you're playing in the Big Ten. And so if you want to Pac-12, maybe a little different, but when you're playing and there's some good teams in the Big Ten. Certainly Oregon was good this year. Iowa was usually pretty good, but like people don't get fired up for Maryland, UCLA in LA. Like I think that's part of it too. When there's no real juice in any of the games during the whole regular season. Like maybe the USC games have some excitement. I don't know, but I think that plays a role in it as well.
I think that's a great point.
No,
Obviously,
the
realignment
USC is not very good.
Yeah, exactly.
Bring back the pack.
Bring back
Facts.
the pack. Word.
Tonight's
All right.
Oregon State game is going to be a ridiculous atmosphere. It's Pac-12 after dark all over again. I
Last
cannot
night's game was
explain how cool
crazy.
that is going to be tonight.
On that note, Nate, let's go back to this. You and Mitch, have we come to official terms for the Twitter profile picture bet? What are the terms as stated between you and he, and what do we need to know about as we head to our nightcap?
So I just got a Twitter DM from Mitch who said he has to hop off the stream for dinner. I don't know where you live to be eating dinner at this hour. Not to call my guy out. East Coast 4:30 dinner. But so he said, just let me know who you want to pick for the profile. So it sounds like he's just going with it. I think I need him on the stream to do the bet. I don't think I can do like an off-stream bet. I think I need to make a bet with someone who I can see their reaction in real time. Is that unfair of me to ask? And if he can't do it, maybe there's just no bet there.
I don't think that's unfair. We'll go to the panel though. Will, you've survived this very same thing. Is that unfair?
No, I don't.
Yeah.
I don't think that's I don't think that's unfair to say. I think that makes for it makes for some better content for sure. So I agree with that for Nate. And we got a long day of baseball ahead of us. Not a while till that game happens. I think it's fair to wait.
Okay, Reese. Any disagreement here? Where are you at on this?
I love the added drama that, we had Will becoming a LSU fan, and we had him.
I can't believe you guys wanted me to do that again this week.
He was freaking out. I think that there is some level of the in-personness to it. Also, 4:40 dinner time, like that's weird. He's a Michigan State fan, so maybe that makes sense. I don't know, man. I think he's got to be on stream if he's going to do it.
Okay. I sent him a message and I said, yeah, any chance you can hop on. So that'll be to be determined. And also, who knows if we'll still be streaming by then, right? But we'll see. I mean, that LSU West Virginia game has some bet possibilities. I know Reese really likes them, but Reese is too big. I mean, the face of baseball media can't change his profile picture.
Good point.
He looks so good in that suit.
That's a great photo of Reese. I mean, it's
the only photo of Reese apparently.
I need to ask you guys. I need to ask you guys a question. So,
because I don't even post pictures of myself on Instagram.
I know.
You really don't. You just post pictures of animals.
And ask what they think of certain baseball players.
Exactly. My favorite ongoing bit on Twitter.
I love it.
Guys, question, should I turn my hat back around forward? Because Tennessee kind of spiraled when I turned it backwards.
I think you need the rally cap, Drew.
Say less.
I think we need a full rally cap.
You elimination game. We got to pull out all the stops.
You're absolutely right.
I don't know if you guys talked about it before I jumped on. What do you guys think of Louisville, Miami? How do you guys think of that regional? Someone who's covered it. It's been fine. It's just kind of been background fodder. Feels like for the more exciting stuff going on.
I'm good with the boringness of it, just because I like that. I like that the team recent. I said this earlier when it was just Nate and I, but I like that kind of the team that I said you can never really count out in Louisville. They kind of proved me true. So makes me feel a little better about my life whenever certain teams are doing what they're doing. So
I thought that series. I thought that Super was really enjoyable for me. I really enjoyed watching it. I thought it was well played. I mean, the run that Eddie King is on right now for Louisville, it is just. Should I point down again? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pointing down at you. I'm saying this man is telling the facts.
I was like, are you telling me to put in a comment?
No,
I can't see the comments.
I'm sorry, Will.
No,
that's just facts, though.
And there was a point in the season where King was kind of struggling, and he every ball that jumps off his bat is just an absolute barrel right now. And the impact that he's had throughout this postseason, and even leading up to it at the end of the regular season, he is on some sort of heater, and I don't see why that won't continue right into Omaha. So I mean, I thought Miami played well too, and the Ogden home run, yesterday was an epic moment. And it didn't have. It's not like those teams were like it wasn't like an 8-9 Florida State Oregon State game matchup, but I thought it was really entertaining for me personally.
I just think it lacked the appeal of all the other ones. Despite there was guys having two
That's
home
fair.
run games and everything like that. As someone who's been covering it all weekend, I'm like, it's fine. It's been fun, but it's not been we're not watching. We're not freaking out about this one like we are like the Arkansas Tennessee regional, or even the UCLA UTSA one's a little bit more quote boring, but yeah, I don't know. It's just been an interesting thing to see Louisville just sort of get it all together when it matters, and then they're on their way to Omaha for the first time since 2019, which for a program like Louisville seems kind of absurd.
It's almost like a drought.
Yeah,
They had a rough stretch not too long ago where they were really struggling in the ACC. So to see the way that they've come back with with this core, the lot of credit to them. I mean, they looked like the better team in the Nashville regional. Won a hard fought series in this one, and against Miami, and I'm excited to see them in Omaha. It's just chance for the Vols. There's still a lot of time left, Drew. There's
This at bat matters a lot.
Yeah, it really does.
Yep. I need Peebs to come through right here pretty bad. That would be so huge for the momentum of this game. I love 2-0 count.
No.
Good pitch. Gibbler's got a good breaker. I mean, that's okay. That's okay.
We saw UCLA go to the pen as well in only the fifth inning.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Who started for UCLA today?
I do not know.
That's a great question.
That's okay. That's okay. I've been so locked into Fayetteville, guys. I'm sorry. I haven't looked at anything else. All right, 3-1.
He does not want to throw a fastball it's amazing in baseball now. We're I wasn't a player, so this is a good, I guess, a good thing to ask Nate. It seems like there's so little actual fastball counts anymore. I mean, people just drop and breaking balls and 2-0, 3-1. It's unreal.
Come on.
Will, you're talking to a guy who my fifth pitch was my fastball. I threw cutter, slider, changeup, all more than my heater. So
all about
in a 2-0 count, I don't think I threw a single fastball ever, because that's the one pitch the guys want in that count. So why not for a cutter and either get a whiff or they'll just take it. So yeah, and I think that's a big part of the college game too, is no one really has elite fastballs. There's only a very few possess it. So you might as well just spam off speed.
Right. Especially with coaches call the pitches too. They're calling a lot of breaking stuff when you look at the usages and stuff like that. It's heavy breaking ball in those counts, and that's, I mean, it trickles up it starts up in the MLB and it comes all the way down. So
yeah, I was lucky enough to call my own game in college, which let me kind of feel what kind of off speed worked against different guys and such, and let me kind of do that. Well, when you throw 80, it's what are you going to call,
Guys at home, I am going to step out for just a moment. I got a couple things to handle around the house, but you're in good hands. Nate, Reese, Will, plus maybe some more of the staff will be here, but I will be back within a couple of minutes. So stay tuned with us at Prospects Live. We're live across the interwebs is what I'm gathering. So I'll be right back. We're going to keep rolling on. Nate, you got us, right?
Yes, sir. Big shoes to fill.
Hardly. I'm not even wearing shoes.
Keep the rally. I hope Drew keeps the rally cap on when he's
doing the dishes.
So I'm like, what are you doing?
I think we should check in with on our podcast last week, Reese. We actually picked super regional winners, and I think we're all pretty close here. I've got it right here. So we all picked Tennessee. Okay, now that Drew isn't here, we picked Tennessee because we didn't want to make him upset, right? Is that
no? I picked Tennessee because I thought they were the better team.
I did too, for sure. West Virginia versus LSU. Reese, you picked West Virginia. Me and Drew picked LSU. I think you're still very much alive in that one. I like that pick. I almost went with you there.
Listen, it's very people are not counting on West Virginia, but I think that's just a team you don't want to like. It's a tough team to play. They don't hit for a lot of power, but it's just like really good contact. They have like guys who are basically my age pitching, it feels like. So it's just a lot of really good pitching. It's just a lot of older, experienced baseball players who just kind of know what to do, when they need to. They're not looking to lift and pull. They're not looking to swing and miss, to put balls in play. And sometimes I think with some of these teams, especially in college, that might be just the approach to kind of beat a team when you're kind of a massive underdog.
And there certainly didn't, at least last night, they certainly, the pitching for West Virginia obviously didn't hold up their end of the bargain, but I thought they had some really good at bats off Anderson yesterday. And I was impressed with how their lineup approached such a good arm. So I'm with you there.
Yeah, I think that's kind of the game for me to watch today, because LSU is absolutely not that much better than West Virginia as the seeding would indicate. For Murray State Duke, me and Drew picked Murray State. Reese, you picked Duke. That'll be probably the difference maker tomorrow, seeing who wins that one. I don't think we put anything on this, but just for bragging rights. Reese, you picked UTSA. Me and Drew picked UCLA. That was kind of a begrudging one for me. I think Ryland's point is proving true. I think that's just kind of a boring game. I mean, we're still focused on Arkansas, Tennessee, despite it being a 6-run game over the UCLA UTSA game, right? Like, I think that speaks for itself. I picked Coastal Carolina. Sorry, fellas. Drew and Reese both picked Auburn. So I'll take my small win there. Arizona, UNC, we all picked UNC, which just goes to show how impressive what Arizona did is. I picked Oregon State. You and Drew picked Florida State. That'll be a good one tonight. And then me and Drew picked Louisville, and Reese picked Miami. So me and Drew got a point up there. Reese, you might get last in this thing.
Oh, I'm getting last by a lot. I went out on some limbs, but I didn't really have a strong feel in that Louisville-Miami series. I honestly thought any team could have won it, and we saw that today. Like, any team could have realistically pulled it off, and Louisville just ended up, their bats are hot. Their bats are hotter, and I was kind of hoping, Cuvée could do a little bit more, but unfortunately, we're not. The super sophomore just wasn't able to do a little bit more. The rest of that lineup kind of just falter a little bit. It's fine. It happens. The one I think I'm the most upset about, since I got a lot wrong, looking back on this, you guys should not let me make previews or predictions. I don't know why I was so on Auburn when Coastal Carolina was just, we had a Coastal Carolina guy on the show. We've had a lot of really good, and they've had really good pitching and really good hitting. Even to the point where Coastal Carolina fans are calling out D1 baseball writers. I don't know if you guys saw that for not knowing who their catcher was. Yeah, that was interesting. A guy whose job is to cover the SEC doesn't know who Coastal Carolina's catcher is. I don't think that'd be like asking me to know who the fifth string quarterback is for some of these college teams. That's not my responsibilities. But yeah, I don't know. It's not encouraging, but I think I'm going to bounce back tomorrow for doing Omaha previews, or for doing that in the later episode this week.
Yeah, we're just constantly picking winners and losers, I suppose, on our podcast. So yeah, I think tomorrow we'll definitely do our Omaha preview on deck. Will, of kind of the remaining games that have not been finalized yet, what are we thinking? If you were to put your money on one team or another on these unfinished supers, where would you go?
Are you asking the team that I'm most confident in?
Yeah, if you were to pick a winner in all the supers that aren't finalized yet, where are you going?
Okay. I guess we'll take away the two games that are in progress. I really like this Murray State team. I mean, I think Murray State wins tomorrow. And it's a gut feel, but my goodness, that lineup from top to bottom just absolutely rakes. And it wasn't just today. It was that whole Oxford regional. I mean, they hit Ole Miss. They hit Ole Miss's pitching staff. They totally hit them around. Yeah. So I think Murray State's is gonna win tomorrow on the road. I'd probably pick for LSU. I'd pick LSU over at West Virginia. I think West Virginia is certainly capable of winning it. But I think that I'll go LSU there. I think their lineup's starting to hit their stride at the right time after, it seemed like that turning point when they were down ever since they were down 5-1 in the winner take all game against Little Rock. And they hit a ball in the gap to clear the bases, and really since that point, that offense just hasn't stopped hitting. And so I think LSU, Florida State, Oregon State is as big of a coin flip as I think you can have. I'm so excited for that game tonight. I'll pick the home team. I'll pick Oregon State. But that's one that could definitely go either way. Are those all the ones that outside of the ones that are playing right now? I think they are.
Yep,
I think it is.
that's all. Yep.
Yeah. But team I wanted to touch on though, and just how insane that this run has been for Arizona, because the second to last week of the regular season, and I put out a tweet about it as well. The the last home series of the year for Arizona in Tucson, they lost the series to Utah, who's horrible. Utah finished last in the Big 12. Arizona lost 2 of 3 at home. They come to play University of Houston, and I actually went to the first game of that series. I was I'll go see Summerhill. There's some pretty. Aaron Walton was unbelievable in that. And I really liked my look at him too, and he's done nothing but hit and rob home runs too. And I mean, but overall, I mean, Arizona looked terrible in that game that I saw, and they got their bullpen kind of imploded. Their starter Owen Gronkowski really got hit around. And then from that point on, they won the last 2 games of that Houston series, swept through the Big 12 tournament, dominated that Eugene regional, had the one bad game against UNC. But I mean, the fact that and their pitching which struggled towards the end of the regular season has really picked up. And I mean, who else can you point to other than Tony Pluto, who hasn't given up an earned run since April 1st, which is crazy, which is just insane. So there's always that team, and I know, and Coastal, certainly they've won so many games in a row at this point, but Arizona, there always seems to be that team every year that goes to Omaha and is so dangerous that had their struggles towards the end of the year, and they just get red hot at the right time. And that's why this Arizona Coastal matchup is so exciting, because these 2 teams might be the 2 hottest teams in the nation, and they're playing each other in the opener in the College World Series. And it's going to be super exciting. I can't wait.
100%. So catching guys up on, I don't know if you guys saw this, what just happened in Arkansas, Tennessee. Reese, were you watching that?
Yeah, I was. So all I saw was it looked like a possible check swing, but the batter got it. I don't know what and then I switched away because I didn't know if we were. I didn't want to. I wanted to go watch the boring game.
So
what happened? What did they end up coming to
after that? I believe
conclusion
that was just a hit by pitch. I don't. They might call it a strike. Who knows? But right after that happened, runner on first took off to second base in a 3-2 count. It looked like a clear ball off the plate. Umpire called it a strike 3 looking when it was off the plate. Batter began walking to first base, thus catcher's interference. So it was a strikeout catcher interference situation on an assumed walk, which I thought was just wild, because it realistically it should have been first and second, 1 out. As Tennessee, did they just go hard?
No,
you hook it. Oh yeah,
that's
way foul. It should have been first and second, 1 out for Arkansas hitting, and they essentially got kind of screwed over there, in my opinion. But I'm all for it. I want to see this game get a little closer.
Me too.
I do as well. I want to see a happy Drew.
Yeah,
when he comes
really.
back. That Arizona team that you were talking about, Will, this Arizona team, like the pitching's like been up and down all season.
Mhm.
They have the fantastic freshman pitcher and Smith Bailey. They have a bunch of like just quality arms, and it's just I don't know. It's nice to see them all kind of put it together. And like I said, Summerhill kind of being back has really helped slot everybody into their appropriate spot. Summerhill
Agreed.
being the leadoff guy, Walton being I don't know if you guys know how many times he's been hit this season. 22. And this isn't like this isn't something that's abnormal with him. He constantly gets hit. Like he was 12 last year, 10 in summer ball in 33 games. That's like a prolific getting hit by pitch pace.
Wow.
But yeah, he's some, and then you have Mason White, who's the middle of the order, kind of. I don't know how I'm trying to think of a good way to describe it. He's very volatile, and then the back of that lineup's pretty good too. Spillane is not too bad himself. They've got just veteran contributors up and down, and I think this is just one of the scarier teams to see now. Now that they took down the behemoth, like honestly, in the ACC.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're a dangerous team, and it's funny to think back on the one game that I saw them at UH. They must have had I think the one of the longest post game huddles in right field that I've seen. I mean, Chip Hale was talking to them like at least 10 minutes out there. So I don't know what he said. I don't know if you can put it back to that, but you know what? From that point on, they haven't looked back since that game. And I left the ballpark that day being like,
Oh,
is this even a tournament team?
What do you got,
seemed
Reese?
like a questionable call to strike out the
Is
batter.
that in?
Yeah, that seemed really it.
Weird umpiring going on right now. I don't love the
Yeah,
strike zone.
Don't love
Speaking
the
of
strike
umpiring,
zone.
what'd you guys make of the whole thing with Root yesterday? And I guess them mourning both benches, after that. I'm curious your guys' thoughts on that. That was certainly something.
I think you just have to do the warnings, whatever. I think it's okay. It's kind of like, all right, guy, like whatever, you know. But in a super, I think pretty much anything goes at that point. You can't toss a guy in a super for something like that. Like I think the umpires know that at this point. So I'm sure that they kind of have talked about that before this. But I don't know. What do you think, Reese?
I'm with you. I don't think you can toss a guy into super. I just think that you'd have to go above and beyond. Like I think you'd have to do something super egregious. So I just what is the saying? Umpires all across America sit in their little locker room and say, how can I make this game about myself? So yeah, I mean we're seeing that in this Tennessee, Arkansas. Like this strike zone is horrifically bad. So I mean, you would think that we're getting to the point where it's put up or shut up time and we'd have the best umpires in the country, but apparently not.
Just let the kids play, man.
Exactly. Andrew Fisher up to bat.
I mean, 2 out, nobody
think
on though.
You got to think Tennessee has to get something going here. If they don't start getting something going here in the 5th inning, I think it's just kind of curtains, unless they pull off one of the craziest late game things we've ever seen. But
6 is a huge number against Arkansas, who can use all of their best bullpen pieces from here on out because they're leading this series. Like they don't have to hold anything back.
Right.
They got plenty of time to rest guys and everything like that for Omaha. So
I picked Arkansas to win it all, so I'm feeling pretty good. The rest of now, don't ask about the rest of my bracket. The rest of the bracket's horrific, but as bad as it is, my final was Arkansas over Oregon State. So we'll see.
There you go. I need the Roadrunners to show some form of life here also.
Please.
As that's a killer right there for Tennessee.
That's bad.
Look like a
The
barrel
offense
out.
just has them. Offense, man. It's just and a lot of credit to Arkansas and their pitching staff. They've done a tremendous job. They've done a tremendous job all season as well. But yeah, Tennessee's offense just in this series they've been really quiet.
Still 2-0 in the UCLA UTSA game. UCLA keeps trying to bunt. I love it. That's a team that has a little bit of juice too, so it's kind of fun to see like a team go outside of what you would expect them to do.
How awesome is Rock Chalowski, guys?
Like crazy good. Like, are we talking like 1-1? Like if the 2026 draft happened right now, like if some bizarre thing happened, he goes 1-1, right?
He'd be mine.
Yeah, he'd be mine as well.
I thought he was an interesting Golden Spikes pick for this year, and obviously he wasn't named a finalist, which I can understand, but I kind of liked him. Like I was kind of like, why not?
He's special. I mean, there was like a hit he had yesterday where it was like the pitch was like a little in, like off the plate, and his hands are just so fast, and it just rips it right down the first base line, and he's special. He was on the Cape a little too last summer, and he was outstanding as well. I agree. He's got to be as we speak today. He's got to be the 2026 1-1 pick.
The 2026 class looks so much better. Like I'm dreading the 2025 class. I'm like, can we please just get to the draft already? Like, I don't know if we asked you, Will. 2025, you're the Nationals. Who are you taking 1-1?
I will say that I don't. If I were, I would probably take. I'd probably take Holiday, because I don't think I would, because I don't see any pitcher with. I don't see any as good as Arnold and Doyle and Anderson are. I don't see them with starting pitcher 1, starting pitcher SP1, SP2 upside. And I think they're solid and going to be in big league rotations. I don't see ace level stuff, so I'd rather just take a bigger swing. I think Holiday's got the got a really high ceiling. I think that's you're gonna have to really pay up bonus wise, but that's who I'd go with.
No Seth Hernandez at 1. Any thought there? Prep pitcher, I know, scary, but
yeah. I mean, there's certainly a thought to it, but a prep pitcher 1-1, I don't, scares me a little bit. But Hernandez certainly really good.
That doesn't scare me a little bit. That scares me a lot of bit. Like that would be terrifying. Could you imagine?
Yeah.
Wow. What are you doing at 1-1, Reese?
I'm doing Arnold, I think. I just take Arnold. I think that there is an SP2 in there. Now, are the Nationals the team to get him there? That's the question I'd be asking myself. But assuming that I'm the one making the decision, then obviously I think that I can get him. The dude needs to throw his changeup more. Like throw that nasty changeup from that arm slot. Like I think that might be on the. I know it's easier said than done. I'm sitting here playing armchair quarterback, but like I think that he has the requisite floor with enough ceiling to make it worth it. I mean, it's not like you're getting that big of a discount on him either. He's been kind of mocked, at this spot, been talked about at this spot for a while. He's going to be a top 3 pick, I think, unless something really bad happens. But yeah, I think I would go him for sure.
I think it's between Arnold.
I would think about Seth Hernandez.
I think Hernandez,
really would think about Seth Hernandez.
In a bad draft, that is your upside. Like if you are going purely off of upside, I would take Hernandez if you cared about that. Also, like I know like teams don't draft based on like fit necessarily, but like Washington has developed lefties really well. We've seen it with like Mackenzie Gore, like they have Clemmy in the system, like they have shown that they can develop lefties. So that makes me think like, is Doyle in play 1-1? Probably not. I think Arnold is the best fit there. But if I wasn't going to do that, I think it's Holiday or Hernandez are kind of the only other two I would think about in that spot. I saw Kate Anderson get mocked there in a draft today. Not sure I love that.
I'm not sure I love this draft if I'm the Nationals. Like there's going to obviously it's every draft, there's going to be some guys in the 3rd through 5th round that are interesting. So I just wonder, do the Nationals just really go like Pittsburgh did a couple years ago and just go like, complete underslot, like, just really high underslot and just see how that works. I mean, but then I don't really love any of the college bats in this class. I think the college bats are kind of not great. So I don't know. This is not a fun draft. I mean, honestly, like I know I'm a team. I think the team that's in the best spot is honestly Seattle. They have the most bonus pool space. They just get to sit there and pick at 3. Is Arnold there? Is Doyle there? Is Seth Hernandez there? Like, I mean, you just get to pick one of the 3 best guys, and you're an organization that does a really good job of developing pitching. Do you take the absolute upside swing on Seth Hernandez? I would love it. Their affiliate's coming close to me now, single A affiliate, so I'd obviously get a chance to see him a lot. But yeah, I don't know. That's one of those things where it's a fun conversation at 1-1. I feel like it's probably going to be Holiday because, as we know, the Nationals like to draft the most famous Boris client they can. So it seems to be the way they want to go.
And if it is Holiday there,
where would you go, Nate?
Well, you just have to think about the Angels at 2 also. Is like the Angels probably aren't going to take a guy that like the Mariners want at 3. The Angels are going to do something weird, right? I don't know if they would take Arnold if he was there at 2. And I'm just not confident that they will take, the best player available and that they won't go like super underslot. If I'm the Mariners, I'm taking whichever of the 3 pitchers you mentioned is there. I prefer Doyle to Kate Anderson. I understand that can be a debate. I would love Seth Hernandez just based on the upside. I think the Mariners are the one team who can like really help him achieve that, or one of few teams who can. If he goes to Washington, it's more 50-50. I think if he's with the Mariners, he's got a better chance at kind of achieving, SP2, SP1 kind of upside. And I think in a selfish Mariners fan way, I think that allows us to trade one of our young pitchers in Sloan or Sinche at the deadline to actually get something, good on the major league level.
I mean, the work they do with pitching just makes me think that they could just be one of these teams that just drafts players that they can fix, right? And then, like the Yankees do, right? For an example, draft players that they know that they can develop and fix, and then trade them off because they do need, they need to be at a certain point where the Mariners are a competitive team. I just think Hernandez gives them that upside. I mean, honestly, I don't do draft rankings, thank goodness. I might put Seth Hernandez at 1. Like the more I think about it, like if the whole goal is to find the next stars, Seth Hernandez kind of is that, right? Like that's the upside. Obviously, there's so many ways in which it can go poorly, but I don't know. I feel like we're talking about, I don't know. There's not a lot to talk about in these regionals, super regionals going on right now. Like, Tennessee's not showing any signs of life offensively. We have we have the heart of the Arkansas lineup coming up, which is good, but and then, we have UTSA, UCLA, which has just been kind of a snooze fest.
Rylan nailed it on the head. It's the most boring super.
Do you walk Chalowski here? I think so. With two runners on, 1 out. I think you should automatically walk him, give him just,
I think
guy to beat you.
I think you pitch until you get to like a 2-0 or a fastball count. Like I'm 3-1 fastball, like is insane there in my opinion. I don't see why you wouldn't pitch around him. And then once you get down in the count, you just throw off speed in the dirt, or you just walk him at that moment. I'm a big fan of not intentionally walking a guy before they see a pitch or whatnot. Throw your best pitch, try and dot it outside, see if you can get a chase. And if that doesn't work, then maybe throw the intentional walk in there. But this UTSA guy, just straight right at him right there. 3-1 fastball is something.
Yeah.
Maybe you just hit them where they're not expecting it. The 3-1 maybe Chalowski's not expecting the 3-1 fastball. So it's like what? Who was it in the postseason who threw like 26 straight changeups this past season? Tommy Kahnle. You don't think he's going to throw another one, but he did. He just kept doing it.
Lance McCullers in the World Series.
Yeah, the Lance McCullers when he absolutely destroyed Aaron Judge and the entire Yankees lineup.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that is not. If I was giving umpires a hard time. But that's a hard, getting ricocheted right back in the face.
Hey, Drew.
Hi, guys.
How you doing, Drew?
Well, my wife got home with groceries. I don't know if the boys told you all at home that was what happened or not, but my wife got home with groceries and she thought enough to bring me a donut as well as a sub sandwich. So I feel like the post-game kind of emotions are going to be met with at least that sort of comfort.
What'd your wife think of your rally cap?
Well, I was waiting outside for her when she got here, and I was kind of just looking off into the woods, sadly, and she said, "How's the game going?" And I said, "Not great. We're losing 7-1." And she just said, "I'm really, really sorry." And I kind of just started getting things, and she said, "Is this it if they lose?" I said, "Yes." And so she was very, very sweet about it. But
That took some balls right there.
Braylon Owens, he is. Here's my fastball. Can you hit
You're
it?
not going to hit it. You're not going to hit
Yeah.
it, right? Is what he's saying.
I love that.
This guy just made himself a bunch of money in the portal.
Is that Owens? Is that who we're talking about?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
How's that
UTS.
going? I'm gonna have
Same.
to turn on Squeeze Play.
Nothing.
See how that's going.
You've missed nothing, Drew.
There's been absolutely nothing. I asked him who they would take at 1-1. And then we're just sitting here watching, and then
Recap me. Who'd you guys pick at
UTSA
1-1?
Arnold. I picked Arnold. Will picked Holiday, and then I don't remember, Nate. Did we get something from you? I feel like you were saying a bunch of names, and then we went on a Mariners tangent because Nate can't not bring up the Mariners. No, I'm just kidding.
I would go Arnold, but I really like the Seth Hernandez idea. I think those are the it excites me, man.
I'm really glad that my team doesn't pick anywhere near the top, because I think that there are enough viable options at 1 that if you get a guy and you're excited, but then another one in that top 5-6 picks blows up more than your guy, there's enough leeway there that I think you could get really ill about it, which is odd because at certain points during this season, I think I would have agreed with you that Arnold was the clear 1-1. Just the more I watch, I'm just not, and it's not on him, it's just on other guys looking really good. So
a pet peeve of mine, though, and like as I was watching Arnold pitch really well in Corvallis last night, can we please, as broadcasters, media, can we please stop every single left-handed pitching prospect who has a slightly low slot? Can we stop saying he's Chris Sale? Stop,
yes, please.
please.
I heard that.
I'm begging you. He's
yes.
not even close to Chris Sale. It's not even similar.
I got so annoyed by that, Will, that I nearly tweeted about all of the differences, but then I was like, put your energy towards something more constructive.
I'm so glad, because I didn't even voice it to anyone. I was like, I heard him say, like, you kind of reminds me of Chris Sale.
Kind of Chris Sale there.
Chris Sale
minus
not having 280 pitches.
Yeah.
and then like a 60 changeup too. Just for
Chris Sale never
just for fun.
That. Yeah.
I think we should call everyone Garrett Crochet instead.
If that comes with good lefties all pitching at Tennessee, I'd be cool with that.
It drives me crazy. Not every left-handed starter with a slightly lower slot is Chris Sale, who's good. We got to stop. We got to stop with that. I say we because I'm not meaning. I say we too much. That I realize that's a problem of mine. But
This is a we thing, though, Will. It is a we thing. I mean, we as media, you're speaking from the perspective of a former broadcaster. I mean, we have to stop. We have to stop making lazy, and I'll go beyond the left-hander equals Chris Sale automatically is rotten, but just lazy comparisons in a general sense is something that really frustrates me. Other than when it's Harold Reynolds on draft night, in which case everybody's a Hall of Famer, and I'm hyped to hear it.
I think my single favorite one is Brett Beatty was Freddie Freeman with power. I think that one sticks out to me so much because Freddie Freeman didn't have power or anything like that, right?
Reese, on our draft stream this year. Oh, crazy catch there. I'm sorry, Drew. On our draft stream this year, you should do that. I think you should be, because you are Mel Kiper. We already established that. You're phoning into the draft stream. We're gonna have you in the corner, like down here in your suit and in your beautiful hair. I think outlandish comps.
Do I have to? I'll wear a suit if I have to. I'll find. Oh, I own one. I own one suit.
I think you have to. You are our insider.
Well, I'll wear a suit top. I'll wear a suit top. I don't,
shorts on the bottom. Yeah.
Shorts on the bottom, like I do everything.
But then there's got to be a player that,
depending on how the draft goes. I'm down for that.
So
I got to study Mel Kiper's game though. Todd.
You got to freak out when you got to pick one guy that starts to fall in the draft that you just absolutely freak out. That doesn't get picked each pick. And we don't even talk about the guys that do get picked. You just Drew just screams about the guy who doesn't get picked.
Reese's big board.
Let's take it to Reese's big board where this guy.
That's just not good.
I'm not putting out a big board. I think there's like 15 guys that I like in this draft.
Can we get your 15 guys that you like? Can we have that be your big board?
That
So
could
we
be
can
my
pan
big
to
board.
Reese's guys that he actually likes.
And one of them is just like a guy who's going to get drafted in like the 5th round. Aaron
Yeah.
Walton. Just draft him in the 1st round. Why not? Just give him like 5th round money. Just figure it out from there.
Nice catch.
What a
UTSA.
Yeah, that was a nice
that
catch.
is a very nice catch.
2 nice catches.
Was that Tossig? Yeah. Looked like a great catch from him. He's a player who I think has made himself some money this postseason, fellas.
Mm-hmm.
Bodine too, man. I was thinking about that yesterday. I'm like, I would draft Bodine in the teens, maybe. It's just a really good floor on the guy.
It's incredible
Catchers.
floor because he'll catch perfectly. I mean, what was the stat this year? You guys may know it off the rip, but I want to say there were 0 passed balls and so many that he framed that were way off the zone. He's incredible defensively.
Bodine or Ike Irish?
I don't know if Ike Irish is a catcher.
That's yeah.
I want Irish barely. But Bodine had to boost himself recently for me to even say barely. I love Ike Irish.
Mm-hmm. He rakes, but yeah, I don't.
Irish is going to get drafted 2nd by the Angels. I'm just calling it now. I feel like that's that's just their wheelhouse.
September call up.
Ike Irish, Devin Taylor.
Yep.
I think it's pretty close, and I think Bodine. Kudos to Bodine for making it that close because the offense is starting to come around again when you want it to, right? I mean, he hit 2 home runs the other day, and he only has 5 on the year, which obviously you don't love, but I think there is some power projection there. When I was talking to my buddy Ryan Lynch before we started podcasting, he was like, he's got the juice. It just doesn't show up in games. And I'm like, well, I don't know if that makes me like him more or not, but I think it shows that there's something left on the table for a guy with such good defense who has a pretty good hit tool. I'm okay if the power isn't fully there, right? It's a pretty complete player.
Makes sense.
I'm going to hop off and get some lunch, guys, but I'll be back on in just a little bit here.
Good deal, buddy. We can manage from here.
I got like 40 minutes till then. I gotta go see until I gotta get ready to go see Bryce Eldridge one more time before he leaves Houston.
Oh my.
Ooh.
Speaking of it, Bryce Eldridge, really, I know this is the college baseball heavy day. Bryce Eldridge, wow. Holy smokes.
I saw
Come
him.
on.
I saw him with Single A. That was pretty crazy.
I
also saw him the same day that him and Colt Emerson went on the IL the same day. That was not a fun day for me to drive all the way up there. But yeah, dude, that dude is freak show power. He's gonna make that ball Oracle look, or whatever they call it these days. Oracle look small.
Whatever it's called these days.
And the part that I love about it is because like most guys with like big power, it's like big stride, super uphill, and he's literally just toe tap, turn the hips, and the bat speed's crazy. He's a stud. And he can the approach is pretty like there will be some swing and miss, but I think especially the Giants are a good team. Probably they'll be in the playoff hunt, maybe in the playoffs. And man, they got a big hole at first base, and they just cut. I mean, given the fact that they got Dom Smith, who was in AAA with Scranton the whole year, and he did well, but he's their everyday first baseman at this point. DFA Lamont Wade. I mean, there is if he hits well over the next couple of weeks, I don't see why the Giants don't kind of push the gas pedal and try and get him to the big leagues pretty quickly. I think he is exactly what that lineup needs. And and probably he'll probably be up and down, but I think you'll live with that. And I mean, can it be much worse? I mean, again, the bar is Dom Smith and Lamont Wade, and what Lamont Wade was this year. So I think Eldridge could be in the big leagues pretty soon. Dare I say a month or 6 weeks from now, is Bryce Eldridge in the big leagues? I don't think it's that crazy. I really don't.
That'd be wild. I'd love it.
I wish that he was like a competent I wish that he could walk and chew gum at the same time. Because if he could play a corner outfield spot, that would just be such a boom for them. Because if Smith is anything, that would be awesome too. Although let's be real, let's not count on anything there. But yeah, I honestly wouldn't 6 weeks. He's going to be someone that some Giants writer is going to say, and this is one of my favorite things. If the Giants don't do anything at the trade deadline, they're going to spin it as he is their trade deadline acquisition. That is my favorite thing. I look forward to it every year. It is that and bad trade offers. Those are the two things I love more in the baseball writing space than anything. Is this prospect or this player coming back from the IL is actually our trade deadline acquisition. To spin that their team did nothing. Whereas you could argue the Giants really shouldn't do anything. Like they should just kind of ride it out and see what they've got, not trade any assets for anything.
I think that is obviously one of the more bright tropes of trade deadline season recently. I'm glad you called it out. Because, what fan of those teams doesn't love hearing, hey, here's your big acquisition to get hyped on? It's the guy we got at home, baby. You don't need – it's the guy we got at home.
Exactly. And I don't you mentioned bad trade offers too, Reese. Did you see the I think Bleacher Report's 10 mock drafts for Jarren Duran where they apparently think that Jarren Duran's like a superstar? It's absurd.
Nate and I talked about it. It was something.
Oh my goodness. DeVries from San Diego, Painter from Philadelphia. It's unreal. And as a Red Sox fan, Jarren Duran's a good player, and I understand he has 3 years of control, but it's just lazy because it's lazy media saying that, he has 3 years of control left, so he's just going to keep getting better. But I think Duran's pretty maxed out. I think as a player, and not that he's not useful, but I don't know if he can repeat what he did last year again. And that's not to say he's not valuable. And I think a team I think the trade partner I think of with them is the Phillies. I think that would make a trade that makes a lot of sense for both the Phillies, and they have some of the assets that the Red Sox want. But some of those trade offers are just absurd. They're crazy.
It was a beautiful day. I'll tell you that. It was a group chat with me, Drew, and Nate. I love bad trade offers. Also, I love baseball trade values. That's one of my favorite. I'm debating on signing up for those. But yeah, I don't know, man. It's the time of year, man. I wish there was anything going on in these two games. Can we call LSU and just say, hey, can you start your game 30 minutes early? I want to see those West Virginia boys swing.
My heart is breaking in real time, and this is not good enough entertainment for you, Reese.
I'm sorry.
I would like to. I'm interested to watch LSU and West Virginia with you, buddy, because I can feel. I guess once, and I don't want to count them out before the game's over, by no means, because Tennessee we're those guys, period. But I would love to be an SEC homer on post heartbreak, rearing LSU to Omaha over your West Virginia boys, Reese. That would be a good time for me, I think.
I would not like that at all. Well, actually, I'm not really super I just have liked West Virginia all year. I like the brand of baseball they play. I like their manager.
Kuyo Aloy right up the middle, nearly decapitating. Lord, I didn't even say who he brought in after Russell left the game.
Is that an air conditioning unit that someone has in the fan? It's big. I mean, I know it's hot in Arkansas. Don't get me wrong. Or it's hot down in the south. Sorry, my apologies.
And confirm.
Right. Yeah, it's hot. It's hot right now. It's 100 degrees where I live, so it's not been fun.
True.
But yeah, it's not. Yeah.
Currently 84 and sunny in Tennessee. Will, I'm sure it's probably trending closer to 88 or 90 where you're at, pal.
Yeah, I think the high today is 94 with crazy humidity. So, I mean, hey, there's a reason that there's a that we got a Sunday evening minor league game, a Sunday evening getaway day in Sugarland, because let's just say if it were a 1 o'clock start time, you would not see me there.
Nate says it's 84 in Seattle. So when Seattle is rivaling Tennessee, we know that it is a hot one, like 7 inches from the midday sun, as a wise man once said. And I'm dropping balls over here.
Yeah. 102.
Oof.
Where I'm at.
That's brutality.
Yeah, it's not fun. The sun is oppressive. Oh,
I mean, well, if the Atlanta Braves had an 8-1 lead, I'd be a lot more locked in. Do we have more faith in Arkansas to close this out, or the Atlanta Braves? I think that's the question.
I don't know. I don't really love either of those teams right now. This is.
I can't believe the Braves called up Craig Kimbrell for one game and just like, yeah, you know what, we're done. We don't need this anymore.
So, what is the justification? But like, was it just like, oh, he's a roster filler to throw 1 inning?
I saw a theory where the logic was to trigger like a bonus for him to call him up so that he would receive that bonus, just kind of as a hat tip to our guy, and like that might be his last kind of hurrah at the big leagues. I'm sorry, guys, I'm still zoned in for Tennessee. Nate Snead is on the mound with 1 on, 1 out in Fayetteville, because the Hogs have decided that a 7-run lead, not quite enough. Let's kick us while we're down. Oh, my gosh.
Darn, well, if this is how this game's going to end, I mean, kind of a disappointing super that, I mean, I'm sure that so many people were super excited for.
Yeah.
Good game yesterday, but, you know.
Oh, I mean, despite the fact that a team whose bats are explosive and like world class and like, you know, kind of stir the drink for Tennessee, the fact that we just could not hit. I mean, whether it was Root or Gackle, couldn't get a hit all day long. And I mean, that's carried over for the most part today. I think that we've had opportunities where we've been on base and just can't. And again, here I go, Will. You and I are doing the we thing, but that's okay. So another quick temperature check-in. Greg, 91 in Little Rock, 89 in Fayetteville. So Arkansas, again, just trending further southward. And I guess Reese towards your direction, obviously. A little hotter. Nate and I are the ones with the easy go at 80, 84 today. So
I would take 4. The coldest it's going to be today, 72.
What's the 70 below here?
It feels like in Houston right now, it feels like 104.
Horrible.
It's 93 degrees, feels like 104.
Terrible.
Beginning of June.
That is one thing I don't miss about. It's only going to get worse. Dude, that's one thing I don't miss about the. I live like in the desert, so it's like dry heat. Like we have 9% humidity, which is a lot, but for this time of year. But dude, when I grew up in I lived in South Carolina as a kid, and that was the worst. Like we lived right by the Atlantic Ocean, and it was we had days where we weren't even allowed to go outside for school. Like what do they call them, like Black Flag days or something like that. So,
wow. I know. I've never heard of that before. That's.
We also had a day where we couldn't go outside because there was gators on the playground because they decided to build a gator pen by the school. So that was an interesting development.
How about let me just pitch this to you guys. How about another wild pitch from Tennessee today?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no. A double for UCLA in the top of the 8th.
Mm-hmm.
Not looking good for my UTSA boys.
Yeah, that's an interesting game right now for sure. Boy, right up the left field line too, right past third baseman. Unfortunate.
Yeah, that's your margin for error is small against Arkansas, and it's just they haven't hit, and that's what it comes down to. But
Yep.
it's not like they've played particularly well in any facet. I mean,
No.
you could go back to the whole Doyle thing, but honestly, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, at this point, we've seen enough decision making apart from that has been suspect, if not just poor. And I'm never going to be a criticize the coach kind of guy and the staff kind of guy, but and they know more than me, smarter than me without a doubt. But it's just unfortunate. I'd have rather seen. I mean, shoot, I'd have rather seen Doyle go. And now I say that again, but I mean, looking out for him professionally, I mean, he's got a lot of money to be made very soon.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's not the right choice, and maybe we have to. It's all good. It's all good. This is very unfortunate. I mean, now bases loaded, 22 pitches for Nate Snead. Of course, at this point, there's the last game of the year, no holding anything back now. If I can quote, who was that from the Water Boy that said that? Was it? I don't remember.
Oh no.
Anyway,
we're just having a calamity of errors.
yeah, it's.
Oh no, no one
bad
can. No,
in Los
no one
Angeles.
can get it. Yeah. Poor pitcher gets hit, right? So that sucks. And then it dribbles all the way to first base. The first baseman decides to go get the ball, leaving first base open. Pitcher goes to go field the position, doesn't catch the ball. The ball dribbles off of, away from him. And then the runner from second, advances. Obviously, during all this chaos, he's a third and scores. I don't think UTSA is going to pull this one off. And the poor guy is now hurt. Poor pitcher.
Oh boy.
All right. So obviously, right now, guys, the focus needs to be on Los Angeles. But Brandon Arvidsson coming out of the bullpen with the bases loaded in Fayetteville, I think that's a good call at this point. But I'm still just so tense. I'm still just so tense. Maybe watching some UTSA will calm the nerves a bit. I doubt it, but we'll say that.
Yeah. Yeah, Owens is still. I mean, Owens is a big guy, man, and he's trying to walk it off. I don't know if he pulled something going to cover the bat or something of that sort. I don't know. They're showing that. See, it's not, whatever stream I'm on is like about like 5 seconds behind. Like I think 5 seconds behind like Reese's.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because it looks like when he drops the ball, he goes to try and pick it up, and then when he misses trying to pick it up, he like grabs at the back of his leg.
Yep. Just again, like you said, calamity of errors here for the Roadrunners who there will certainly be irresponsible reporting that says that these guys were held together by bubblegum and duct tape. This was a better team than that narrative, without a doubt. I think we've established that, Will, in our streams, in our coverage, that this is a very talented team who, again, kind of dismantled even Texas. But again, today, sometimes, especially in a best of 3 series, any game can go any way. But man, this is just unfortunate for UTSA because they've almost become they and Murray State have kind of become our everybody. I guess the nation's kind of underdog heroes.
Yeah,
So,
for sure. I mean,
bad.
this is a UTSA team that is probably a even as the season ended, like a top 20, a top top 25, 30 team in the country. And I know that I think because I was watching them in the American Athletic Conference tournament a little bit, and the broadcast said something about how like not that they would have been picked to host, but they did not submit but they were like kind of on like the line of like you should probably submit like if you have the facilities to, you should probably just submit a bid anyway because why not? But UTSA didn't, because they do not have the they don't really have the facilities of the very small ballpark down there. I've only seen like pictures. There's no way that can host there's no way it can host a super. I mean, we talk about heat though. Imagine if you were playing a super in San Antonio this weekend. Wow.
That's next level heat, huh?
Wow. That's outrageous. But regardless of what happens, just an incredible incredible season from UTSA, and it's not over. I shouldn't give the swan song, as UCLA looks like they're going to bunt again. I don't know. All right, can Arvidsson?
We have seen Coach Pat Hallmark pull some crazy things off, and like you said, far from it for us to write them off, but yep, looks like we're going to get a call to the pen right here.
Owens, it just isn't right. This is a good move.
It is, and I hate it for Owens. But
you can see it.
This is the right move for the team right now, though.
Yeah, I mean, can see the emotion really from both of them, and they just walk another run.
Yep, another walked-in run for Tennessee. So that's going to put it at 9-1. Hogs with the bases loaded, top 7th. This is Will, I feel like I'm allowed to say it. I feel like all of the wheels have come off at this point, and we are close to full-blown side of the highway flaming vehicle.
Yeah, I think we've approached that point, and I think you mentioned it, Drew, that there has been some. Tennessee had some opportunities earlier, but I think back to the I think it was the fourth, when they had the fourth or the fifth, when they had first and second one out. Yeah, right, in the fourth. And we said, like, hey, like, you're down 7-1 in the fourth. That's plenty of time. Still plenty of time to try and make something, but you got to capitalize on the opportunities you do have with runners in scoring position, to recapture some of that momentum. And so your pitchers can continue to go out there and throw up zeros, and it just hasn't really, and weren't able to get it done in that situation, and haven't really had.
Yeah. Look back to the run that they did score. I mean, bases loaded for Andrew Fisher, but I mean, hot shot to the second baseman, Cam Kojal. And it just, I mean, that's the two. Yeah, exactly. That's a double play ball. I believe Berkey even said it on commentary there. That's the pitcher's best friend. I mean, the last thing we need to do is give Gage Wood any attaboys.
Right.
At this point, you got to be fighting him with everything you got. And so now looking at a 2-2 count, 1 out in Fayetteville, bags still loaded for the Hogs. So speaking of, I'm going to put some pressure on Greg really quickly to see if he can jump on with us, because if Arkansas is about to beat Tennessee and Greg's not here, I'm going to be pretty illustrated.
Oh yeah, I mean, this Arkansas team's really good. They're as complete of a team as you can find. They are so deep. They're so deep, and they're tough to beat. And they've had times where they've come up short in these situations, and in the postseason in their own ballpark, and it's, well, unfortunately,
another run in.
Tennessee bullpen, the strikes, the walks are just killing them. The bullpen.
That's, I think, the 7th or 8th walk today for Tennessee pitchers.
Yeah.
If I'm not, I want to say 7, but it could well be 8. If you know it at home, let us know. Nate, back from lunch. What was for lunch, sir?
Flautas.
Impressive. How was that?
Good. I also had some veggie straws. Underrated snack. And so I was listening. Sounds like nothing has really happened.
Will and I have solved some of the world's problems, but alas, the one biggest problem in my world looks like it may be too far gone for Will and I with even our very, very long arms, to reach.
Would you rather lose in a close game or get blown out in this situation?
I don't know. That's such a good question. I'm so sorry that I'm unprepared to answer it. Mallory asked me a minute ago. Like I said, whenever I was unloading groceries with my wife a moment ago, she said, um, "You know, this is it." And I said, "Yeah." And she said, "Are you going to be really upset?" And I said, "Yeah, of course I'm going to be upset." But I look at it almost like if you're going to be gunned down, let it be by the best gunslinger left in the game. If you're gonna be ended in a duel, let it be by the best samurai with a sword. And that's genuinely how I feel. And I think that it would have been that way for either Arkansas or Tennessee. I really wish we could have made it back to Omaha. And it's still possible. I'm not giving up yet. It's still possible. But not looking good right now. So I don't know, Nate. That's tough. What about you, man? Let's say that you're coaching the guys at Bushnell and you guys are down 1-0 in a best of 3. Would you rather get blown out or have it be close?
I would definitely rather have it be close. I think if I was a fan of a team, that's different. If I'm a coach of a team, I absolutely want it to be as close as possible because then you can say, like, at least we put up a good effort and stuff like that. Like, losing on your worst performance of the year is, as a coach, would be hard. As a fan, even it may be a little less hard, but I don't know. It depends what kind of fan you are.
Well, I'll let you answer that question because the more I thought about it, I realized that, I mean, losing yesterday, despite the fact that Tennessee put up two hits to score 3 runs and make it a 1-run game, I was enthralled. I was stuck to the screen the entire game, and I kept thinking, we can win this. We can win this. We're in it. We can win this game. Today, I'm certainly far less enthused. So, I mean, yeah, let's go out swinging. I do want to go out with our best effort rather than look like a shell of ourselves because all the pundits on Twitter who are barking about the SEC being overrated need is this performance right here, as if Arkansas hasn't been excellent, as if Arkansas isn't the number 3 ranked seed, the best remaining team according to the you say what we will about that. It's like Arkansas didn't take a season series, but I'm not looking forward to seeing Tennessee is overrated nonsense at all. And I really try to refrain from the drams on Twitter, but you guys may have to bail old Drew out of Twitter jail a time or two if people want to act foolish. So,
yeah, I think that the reality too, as good as the SEC is, I do think that there's something to, as UCLA with a sacked fly make it 4-0, kind of looking inevitable there. I do think there's something to be said for, and we've seen it a lot, especially this year in SEC football as well. And that being that the transfer portal has really kind of evened things out in some ways, like where the sometimes the gap grows between teams that have money that have NIL money and the teams that don't. But in some ways, these SEC teams aren't as they don't get to have as much depth as they once did because those guys aren't going to be willing to sit behind aren't going to be willing to sit and wait their turn. And I think that's I think that's, we'll see if in baseball it has that sort of, I think it's certainly heading that direction in football, but in a baseball sense, I think that it's a contributing factor to the ACC having as good of a year and as much postseason success as they've had, and the other schools too. Certainly Coastal from a Sun Belt conference. I think Sun Belt baseball's been criminally underrated for quite a while as well. That's a really solid conference, but I think not that the SEC will be the top dog, but I don't. But there is like, I think the gap is closing a little bit because of NIL, just a little bit.
Roster size limits too are starting to get into effect. I think coaching and development are now the separator. It's not as much recruiting because when you have money, it's just whoever gives you the most money at some point. Like, it really is.
At some point, it is. I mean, it's foolish to think it will be anything other than that.
Yeah, it's about development and picking the right guy, right? Especially with less spots, you have to make the right decision, I suppose. as my friend Dean West strikes out for UCLA right there. But yeah, the roster limit thing is really changing a lot of things in the college world right now. The portal, as a coach who looks at the portal every day trying to recruit guys to come to Bushnell, the portal is absolutely insane right now. Players that are way too talented are in the portal, and they're going to transfer down to JUCO and NAI levels. I mean, a lot of bounce backs are going to be coming my way in the next year or two, and it's fascinating how it's going to work. JUCO is now flooded with talent. So what does that mean for the rest of baseball moving forward? You're going to see the most talented JUCO squads you've ever seen now and moving forward, especially if they rule JUCO eligibility as not counting, which they might do. College baseball is in the weirdest spot it has ever been right now because of all these changes that are happening, and most notably NIL and the roster limits. It's totally changing the landscape of everything. And I think, and I don't know what the right path is moving forward, but all I know is that it's a new game now.
Certainly. Like you kind of alluded to, just keeping up with some of the portal too. I don't think that people who are, and I have one guy in mind, and I'm not going to call names. You guys could not pay me enough to call a name right now, but that's kind of driving this SEC overrated ACC supremacy thing. But SEC teams are getting players from the ACC in the portal. I mean, it's not, and I mean, yeah, sure. Say it's NIL, say it's whatever, but I mean, I've never been the guy, and I'm wearing an SEC shirt for full transparency, everybody watching at home, but I've never been the guy to sit here and say SEC is the best, bar none, hands down. I think it's the best conference, but I am far from discounting the ACC or the Big Ten or the Big 12 or the Sun Belt, as we said earlier. There are good teams that can come from anywhere, and we've seen it. I mean, guys, we watched UTSA, and I'll say it again, dismantle Texas. So like you said, the game is new, the game is wide open, and it's nice to see. It's nice to have some kind of pleasantry in baseball in my life as Levi Clark swings at a wicket breaker, bottom 7. Reese, hello.
Hi guys. I don't know what I walked into, but yeah, my stream was cutting out. I had to go use the restroom. I didn't end up getting a snack. What'd you have for lunch, Nate?
I had flautas and veggie straws. Did you guys need to go look at Brandon Payne's most recent post on Twitter because it's very funny.
Let me see.
Reese is gonna love it.
Oh no.
Oh no, this is disgusting.
That's a call for help.
I feel like we need to send Smada to make sure that he's doing okay. This is not good.
That's an awesome combo. I'm not gonna lie. I wish I had that for lunch.
Now, doing some investigation, he does have some elite Chobanis behind him. Chobani is like elite tier yogurt. The red velvet and the orange one, that one's really good.
Check out his cart. Yeah. People should start doing grocery cart reveals.
It tells me a lot about you.
I'm so interested to know. Can we start like sending that in the group chat? Like, what are we buying at the store?
Yeah,
I'd love to know what you guys are getting down on.
I think that's very interesting. I guess the biggest fun fact about my grocery cart is that I am someone who buys a ton of milk. I drink like 2 gallons of milk a week.
Are you being serious, Will?
You're on the right show.
Yeah.
I swear, I drink 2 gallons of milk a week. So
me too.
Really?
Yeah, I'm being dead serious.
Oh, that's amazing. I get made fun of all the time. And
me too.
And I drink with pretty much every meal. Is always milk. I've never stopped.
I'm so proud of you. Oh my gosh.
Is that because you have to put on weight, Will? Because I just feel like you're at your height and how, like, I've seen pictures of you on Instagram. I could see the doctor being like, Will, you need to put on some weight, my man.
I'm skinnier than Will. Will's not that skinny.
Yeah, but Will's like,
thank you.
Will's like if you took like the picture and just like zoomed it out a lot, or like stretched it out, not zoomed it out. That's the wrong way to put it.
Reese, I think Will might beat you up in a fight. I'm not gonna lie, man.
I'm not doubting that Will can beat me up. Like, I think there's a lot of people on the planet. I've never once like been confident about my fighting skills.
I think Drew and Will are great, like Secret Service, though. I don't know if we had this conversation on or off air, but I do think it's a great conversation because I can't wait to be sandwiched in between you guys someday and feel like the man.
If only there were a day. If only there were a day where that could happen. What a wonderful social post that would be for you, Nate.
So okay, so you have 2 gallons of milk. What else is a staple for the Will Thompson diet?
Ooh,
I'll go next because it doesn't seem like we have anything to talk about in these baseball games.
the things that I like to repeat. I'll get like two like New York strip steaks. I'll do that. I get 2 frozen pizzas a week. Chicken patties for sure. Ground beef to make tacos. Yesterday was taco night. Yesterday was taco night during the Red Sox Yankee game. I think it's mostly, and then I always give myself one ridiculous purchase a week, just something that some sort of like baked good or like something like that I just see at the grocery store, and it's just ridiculous. Like sometimes, and I have no idea what I'm going to come home with. I'll just see what HEB speaks to me. That's the big grocery store in Texas. So
I love this. We have such similar diets, Will. It's shocking.
That's unreal. Then the milk thing fires me up because I'm literally like a 2 gallon of Tennessee grounds out 10 to 7th. The 2 gallons of milk a week is a staple.
So Greg Hoogkamp just texted me and said, if there happened to be a trip that Will and I were both slated to be on, where the P Live crew was all staying in the same location. Not that there's such a thing planned, but if there were, Greg said, what do you think that the milk budget between the two of you would be? And I said, hi. Hi.
No, do you guys drink the same milk?
What percent?
Do you guys
I was going to ask the same question.
Go ahead, Will.
I'm usually a 2% guy.
No notes. No notes. So
amazing.
I'm so excited. Not that anything is coming confirmed, but if there were a date, that would be really awesome. That's all.
Our fridge space is absolutely in shambles right now.
Yeah, fridge space is just rocked.
Will's not going to have space for his bean dip and his salsa.
I think we should do the dip draft in person if we were ever all together.
In-person dip draft?
I mean, maybe Top Chef. I don't know. Now I'm just thinking of new content ideas. Now,
okay.
So Drew, you had the buffalo chicken with dip, right? That was yours.
Buddy. Oh yeah.
Big time. Yeah.
So I will say this. We're getting way off the rails, but we're on a break from content right now, so that's fine. Again, if there were such a trip, we're all just speaking in real hypotheticals right now, but if there was such a trip, I've contemplated making breakfast for the boys one morning.
It's just going to be glasses of milk.
Yeah. Because Nate, I know that you are Pacific Northwest. Will, you're Texas, so the odds of you having had this delicacy is a little higher. But Greg, possibly being a Canadian transplant, maybe Ross is the wild card. If this was a group of people that was going anywhere, I should say. Chocolate gravy. Have you guys ever had chocolate gravy and biscuits?
No.
Is that something that sounds appealing to either of you?
Chocolate gravy and biscuits are 3 really great things.
I think that sounds delightful. I will say, even though I am in Texas now, I am born and raised born in Texas, raised in New Jersey, now back in Texas. So
okay.
So
you are the product of proud cultures, Will.
Yeah, so I kind of claim the Northeast type of like diners and bagels and all that stuff. But that does sound very good. I'm all for that.
Well, Greg, if you're still watching, shoot me a text or drop a comment if you've had chocolate gravy before, because that's a critical sell there.
Can you
Because-
explain
Greg,
what it is?
Greg,
Yeah,
you got to drop your grocery store haul too, your cart
Yeah.
haul.
Greg, so I told Greg he needed to come on for the end of the Arkansas-Tennessee game, just because it would make me feel better to know that there's somebody happy while I'm sad. But Greg said the boys are in the pool and his wife is getting her nails done, so the Hoog Camp house is going nuts. Okay, Greg officially has had grits, not chocolate gravy. This bodes well for you guys. Okay, so chocolate gravy, essentially, if I was to say biscuits and gravy, do you guys go to like the white sausage gravy in your mind?
Yeah, you're not putting like a brown like Thanksgiving gravy on biscuits.
No. So imagine essentially the same consistency. It's but chocolate. So there's no meat in it. It's just a chocolate sauce that you eat over fresh biscuits with butter. It's very good with like fresh bacon. Scrambled eggs are very good with it. I also, and this is a bizarre one, but I think fresh fruit goes really well with it too, because it obviously cuts through the thickness, but then you can dip fresh fruit into warm chocolate, and that's also kind of like a dessert for breakfast kind of thing.
Yeah, I was going to say that this is the greatest breakfast ever. Any chocolate involved in a breakfast is like arguably S tier stuff.
Well,
Can I tell you guys something? I'm not a
please.
sweet breakfast guy. I like a breakfast burrito. I like, just like, whatever, anything else. I'm not a big sweet breakfast guy.
Okay.
I eat Uncrustables for breakfast.
Uncrustable. Yeah.
Pretty
I
much every
gotta
day
figure.
now.
I gotta figure out what you buy at the grocery store, Nate. I can't even imagine.
Yeah,
I can't even
we need-
imagine what your haul looks like.
Let's redirect to Nate's grocery staples, because that's I'm with Reese. We need to, because we know the on deck crew knows that that Mama Rasmussen provides exquisite choices in terms of snackery. The skinny dipped. I was about to say those little chocolates you showed us last time sounded amazing.
There's a care package in the works, fellas.
Oh, that makes me so excited. But okay, what are your grocery staples, your must-haves on a weekly basis, Nate?
All right. I'll get like the huge pack of ground beef. And then I just buy like the largest like 50-pound bag of rice that I'll go through like throughout like multiple months or whatnot. And probably over half my meals are just ground beef and rice with different sauces on it. I have been known to say I don't have taste buds. I don't really taste things. I just eat, and like I don't care if there's not a whole lot of flavor. I'm there for like sustenance in a sense. I know my life's kind of sad. My mom called me sad the other day because I like brought that up to her. I was like, I don't really taste anything. And she's like, what? What'd you say, Will?
It's just like a bit. It's just like, yeah, like, all right, I gotta eat. Like, it's just like a business. Like, you just say how to do it.
It is. So that's why it's ground beef and rice. That's how I keep this lean, mean frame, So my grocery haul is pretty boring, but I like, the veggie straws have become, a thing lately. I go to Costco a lot, so I'll get the chocolate chip cookies from Costco. I love croissants and like ham sandwiches, stuff like that. Uncrustables, right? You get the 20-pack that'll last you maybe a week if you're lucky around me. And then maybe a Coors Light mixed in, and that's kind of where it's the college student, not a fruit or vegetable in sight there. If I'm being honest, I eat a salad once a month and I kind of call it good.
Jelly's a vegetable, isn't it?
That's where I get my fruit, is from my Uncrustables. I have a real problem, but my protein intake is awesome.
Through the roof.
It's the most college student thing ever.
It really is very college student, but I like it. It's endearing, my friend. It's endearing.
Reese, we gotta hear your
okay. So I'm on this new diet thing.
Oh boy.
It's whole 30. So it's no processed food, which really eliminates a lot of stuff. But it's basically you shop on the outside aisles of the grocery store. You get your meat, I can't have grains. So I've like a potato, like a 10-pound bag of potatoes is like a necessity at this point. Also, potato is like one of my favorite foods. You can cook it in so many different ways. Do you guys know that?
So many ways.
So many ways. One of the most versatile ingredients there is. I'm more of a chicken breast guy over like ground beef, but I will eat ground beef. I buy like the Whole30 sauces. I can't do milk and dairy on this diet, so it really changes it. But it's pretty simple. It's like fruits, vegetables. I'm a big seasonal fruit guy, so I've been enjoying the watermelon, the pineapple,
Melons.
Melons.
No, not melons. Watermelon.
Melons.
I don't indulge in like those disgusting like waste of like space fruits. I'm a big
Any fruit come to
onion.
mind there?
Yeah, I can name some. There was a draft about them actually. But I also, I'm a big like I love zucchini. That's like one of my favorite vegetables.
Zucchini's good.
Zucchini's really good. I'm trying to think, what else do I normally buy? I'm always a sweet potato guy, but until like let's see, I've been dating my girlfriend for almost 2 years now. I didn't know that sweet potatoes were like white. Like I grew up with like the yams, like they were called sweet potatoes, like the orangey like ones. So I'm a big orangey sweet potato guy. I'm
Sweet
pretty
potatoes
plain.
are white.
They make white ones, yeah. There's purple ones too. Those ones are like Okinawan ones.
Haven't gotten there yet. Sorry, please continue.
Yeah.
Nate will get there in a couple of years. I'm trying to think, what else do I normally buy? I used to eat a lot of yogurt. Like Greek yogurt is like an absolute, like it was a staple in my diet until I can't do it for 30 days. I'm pretty boring. Like I like to eat boring at home so that when I go out to eat, I can have a little bit more fun.
That's fair. That's fair.
I'm trying to think, is there any weird stuff that I buy? Not really. I'm a big pickle guy though. Like I love the pickle aisle is like one of my favorites.
Just wait until you come to Washington, buddy, and I pick you up with hot bean dip in the passenger seat.
In the passenger seat, he said. That's like not even waiting. It's just there for you.
It's just sitting there for a couple of days.
Just sitting there.
The sun will warm it up.
Oh,
goodness.
So I'll tell you guys a quick story because we are, I believe, bottom 8th in both of our games currently right now. Both look to be pretty out of.
I don't even have the games pulled up.
Oh,
I just stopped.
We had a long umpire delay to get the home plate umpire switched out in the UCLA UTSA game because of the foul tip off the home plate umpire's mask. So they had to go into the dressing room, like wait to put the gear on, then come back out to the field. So
was this during the Rock Chalowski at bat, or is this another time that he got beamed and he got like hit in the head?
No, I think I from what I gather, it was in between innings, so it was after the top of the 8th inning. Now going into the bottom half, I think for whatever reason, I assume it's very hot there, and he was just like, I can't do this, or maybe the trainers were like, you can't do this, so they switched him out. Oh wait, they're hit batter though, but then the umpires are getting together. Are they talking about the whole leaning in with the elbow thing, or I have that TV muted? I can't hear what that umpire's saying.
He stuck his elbow out, but it wasn't going to be a strike. It'll be interesting how they rule this.
Let's say
that's a pretty natural position. If I was like, this is what we teach our guys to do at Bushnell, is to roll like that because it's technically
you're protecting yourself. There's enough leeway to say you're protecting yourself without it being indisputable evidence.
Well, when you're loading to get ready to swing, your elbow goes in that position, so it's like a defensible action. Like it's a reasonable move with your elbow there.
Yeah.
The catcher and the pitcher pointed at it immediately.
So I realize that this is going against protocol. So I'm going to pitch this to the three of you. I need 2 yeses and 1 no, or else everything remains the same. We are in the bottom 8th. Tennessee has a man on with no outs. Am I allowed to turn my hat inside out in hopes of turning the juju around here?
Yes.
Yeah.
You got to explore every opportunity.
You can do whatever you want.
Can I tell you guys something now that it's too late to have done it? I know that we jumped on kind of in a bit of a rush, but I nearly painted my face for the game.
Oh, that would have been so awesome.
I know. And I knew you'd say that specifically, Reese, because it would have been unpredictable enough that when you guys came into the call, it would have been, oh, wow.
I think I would have needed a second. I would have had to get off the phone or I'll get off the call.
I think that the people at home would have appreciated it too, but time wasn't on my side there, but let's see.
Hope we're getting the call.
Leaned in. leaned in, overturned.
Wow.
Wow. Okay.
I'd be upset.
It's a big
Yeah.
call.
Now, does the
Hallmark
manager
does not look happy.
Does the manager just come out here and get ejected and maybe try and fire the guys up? If I was a
No,
manager, I would get ejected like once a series. I would just do it, just to get the boys fired up, even if we're winning. I feel like maybe this is why this will be one of the reasons I'll never become a manager. But I feel like you just got to get thrown out, especially like once a series.
It's also like it was also a 3-2 pitch too. So it was either he gets first base to lead off the inning down 4, or you're out. So that's a big swing and takes away a lot of possible momentum.
Nate, can you do that for me? Can you get thrown out once a series next season?
So if an assistant coach gets thrown out in NAI, the head coach also gets thrown out.
Oh,
Which is to try and limit you from doing anything stupid. Just like if a player gets thrown out in NAI, the coach goes with them. So we had a player get ejected for apparently arguing a striker ball. It was soft. So we were up in Canada playing UBC, sidetrack here, and in Canada they can only employ Canadian umpires. Well, there's only one college in Canada. So who do these umpires umpire for all year long? The exact same team. They're calling the players by their first name and stuff. Like it was like the most brutal, like homery like thing I've ever seen ever. And then one of our hitters just says something after he gets strikes out on a bad call. Umpire tosses him. Our coach goes with him. And we were winning 1-0. Our coach tried to fire us up by like making a scene out of it, and we went on to lose badly. So I don't know, man. I don't know. I think I might do it with my 16U team this summer because like 16U baseball, like my boys will definitely win if I go. So maybe that'll be my test.
ejected in the first inning. Just be like, I'm just doing it.
Well, there's some days where it's like, do I really want to be here? I'm in the middle of nowhere, 16U baseball, or playing some jumps or whatnot. Yeah, just go watch from home.
Yeah. All right, fellas. I need to get ready to go see Bryce Eldridge one more time before he heads off back to Sacramento. But I think Sacramento next week is actually playing in Tacoma as the home team because of the whole A's situation. So that's good for them. But it's a pleasure as always. Wish we got crazier games, but always a pleasure.
Will, it's been great hanging, man.
Of course.
Thanks for joining us.
Great video
See you here next week.
Yep, I will see you guys.
Be careful, dude. Have fun tonight.
Thank you.
All right, guys. Well, as Will departs, I do have a bit of a surprise. I think we are going to have a guest join us. So we'll give them just a moment to come around, but we are going to have another guest joining us.
Who is said guest?
Maybe it should just be a surprise.
I have a bet.
I don't like surprises.
Okay, well, you guys, let's hear what you think. How about that?
It's got to be Greg, right?
Maybe. Reese, what do you think?
Greg's just leaving the kids unattended to go swim. No, I would not accept. I'm going to say Greg or Brandon. Brandon might be a good shout. Well, he's at the grocery store right now shopping like a psycho.
I was about to say, we know that he is doing psychopath shopping right now.
Phone in from the grocery store, man.
Now, that would be elite to video in from the grocery, just literally just picking things up off the shelf as you're watching Drew's misery come to life here. Ninth pitch of the at-bat here in Fayetteville. Guys, it's coming down to it. It's coming down to it.
Terrible pitch to swing at by you, TSA, right there.
I think I'm hopping on the amateur hour pod tonight, and I'm gonna really try to figure out what their favorite laws are. I know Trevor isn't a lawyer, but
what their favorite laws are.
It's gonna stir something up.
Are you gonna what do you call it? Are you going to, like, what do you say? Like, convict yourself of more possible crimes?
Yeah, I'm gonna try and stay off the air with any wrongdoings in my past that allegedly may have happened.
With a lawyer and a lawyer by association, Nate, it's probably for the best that you do not incriminate yourself.
Yeah.
So he is experiencing.
How you doing, Greg?
He's experiencing a little bit of difficulty right now. He's getting his audio set up with hearing us. But as you said, Greg Hoogkamp joining us from currently my least favorite state, but a beautiful state nonetheless in Arkansas. Guys, don't look now. 2-on for Tennessee with Gavin Kylan and the Big Fish going back-to-back singles.
It's happening.
2-on, no outs, bottom 8. Crazy stuff is happening. Oh boy.
That was a good swing right there.
It was. I mean, that's why Andrew Fisher, I think, is one of the most, if not the most talented college bat in this year's class. I mean, incredible bat control, incredible to get the barrel to that. I mean, just and on a good pitch and on a very nice pitch to be buried away from him as well. So let's see if Inslee can come away with something positive. Has been a I mean, hey, I love the boy. He's from Huntington, very close to me, but a drain with the bat this postseason. So we'll see what he can do here.
All it takes is one.
All it takes is one, and baby, I'll love this one forever.
Did you watch that Inslee doc on YouTube?
It's on my favorites to watch. I told myself that I'm going to watch it when I run into some spare time, and I just have not. So
yeah, it was a good watch.
I'll definitely do it then. Thanks for the show. Let's see. Greg, can you hear us?
I can hear you. My mic's not working, so hopefully my mic's okay. I'm from my laptop.
Yeah, we can hear you well. I mean, I don't want to speak for you guys, but we can hear you, pal.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you, Nate.
Good to finally see you, man.
You get to see that Nate's a real person.
I don't want this to be my first impression with you, but there's more than one college in Canada.
that have baseball?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, who else? I didn't know that.
Here we go.
UBC, but then Simon Fraser, I'm sure, has a team. I don't know about in that league. But
I guess I'm talking about in NCAA, NAIA. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, yeah. They play in that league. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, Drew.
No, it's okay, buddy. It's okay. You've been watching. I know that you've had your phone with you while the boys were swimming. Hope they're doing well, by the way. Shout out to the little homies. It's been tough, but I mean, you've heard me say it. If you're going to go down to the best team in the dance, and that looks like Arkansas kind of with a bullet, man. So it sucks, but.
And when it comes down to a 2 out of 3 series, it's difficult. I mean, at 4 out of 7, I think it's a different story. I think Tennessee has as good a shot to win as Arkansas. So
certainly, I'm with you there, man. But it's this is tough. So yeah, right now 2-on for Tennessee. Dalton Bargo, another guy who very, very slow offensively this postseason, guys, at the plate with an 0-1 count. Meanwhile, across the country, Reese, your neck of the woods, still much of the same. UCLA and UTSA, top 9, as UCLA looks to tack on maybe another run or two for insurance before these Roadrunners get their last go. Where are you guys focused right now, Nate and Reese? Nate, we'll start with you. Are you more in Fayetteville or more in LA right now?
I'm in LA just because I think that game's more within reach or whatnot. I think if they can hold it here, if 4 runs in an inning is a little easier than 9 and 2, just barely, I suppose. But
Yeah.
I really both games I feel like are kind of just finishing up, unfortunately.
Unfortunate. As Dalton Bargo strikes out, that puts 2 outs on the board for the Vols in the bottom 8. Reese, where are you at right now, Fayetteville or LA?
I'm in Fayetteville right now. I don't think the UTSA is. I thought that they kind of that unfortunate calling. The batter leaning into it killed any sort of momentum for them. So I think that's sort of done. I'm going to probably switch over to LSU, West Virginia here in a minute.
I think that when we look back at this game, Reese, that is going to be the hinge point for that contest for sure. Greg, obviously, man, you've had your eyes glued to Arkansas and Tennessee, perhaps even at the safety risk of your children in the pool. But we know that they are okay. We know the kids are fine. So I'm going to ask you, man, Canadian transplant to Arkansas. You have come into being a fan of these Hogs. What's it mean to be able to watch your team looking like they're going to be playing in Omaha as Tennessee is down to 2 strikes here for Dean Curley?
I think it's exciting. It's kind of an expectation around here for that team to advance, I think. honestly, that was the biggest culture shock for me moving down here. Was everybody's a Hogs fan, no matter if you're 5 years old or 85 years old. Everybody's wearing Hogs gear. There's no pro team in Arkansas, so it's all about the Hogs. It's 3 hours away from here too, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not even like we're in the town. So, and people live and breathe it here. I remember going in one time to buy some merchandise into it was a Hogs branded store, and a couple of like senior citizens come in, and they had just been to Europe to watch the basketball team play in a exhibition tournament over there. And they were talking about the red shirt freshmen that like 85-year-olds, like it was incredible. So that is the culture down here. So I think there's going to be some very happy people with the results this weekend.
There sure will. Certainly some happy ones, and then it's not the same culture. I mean, Tennessee has pro teams. We have the Predators in Nashville, the Titans as well, and then the Grizzlies a little bit closer to my home. But there are pro teams. But man, college sports it is. I was going to say it just means more, but that joke is so it just means more. But I mean, that's an overplayed joke, but it really does. I mean, in the South, college sports is just it's just a different vibe. And so I think Rocky Top's going to be pretty sad tonight, although it was, another run scored, Dean Curley to right field to bring in Gavin Keelan. And we are, 2-on-2 out again for the Vols as Reese Chapman comes to bat. Mallory always loves it when Reese Chapman comes to bat because, what is it? Josie's on a vacation far away. That's his theme. And Mallory will always, about 3/4 of the way through the season, she was really had enough of the outfield. So there you go. Oh, let's see. Squeeze play right now, focusing on UCLA. Top 9, 2-on for the Bruins. They could put a little bit more on these poor Roadrunners here. Not sure how that's going to go. Greg, any thoughts from that UCLA and UTSA regional? We've talked a lot about it. Just the three of us, on the air today. Heartbreaking for San Antonio.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's really special that they made it this far, honestly. Like, they were the heavy underdog against Texas. And they've played it tough. They really have. I think they should be super proud of themselves. And obviously they'll be disappointed to get this far and to be that close. But the team they're playing is really good too. So, yeah.
Curious, Nate Reese, UCLA. Does this change your opinion of them for Omaha? Do you look at this team and say, maybe there is more under the hood? Reese, you're already shaking your head no.
I don't believe what UCLA is saying. Like, okay, I just don't.
I've got to push back.
They're going to win a national championship, and I'm just going to be, I don't believe it. Like, I just don't like. I don't know how this happened.
UCLA wins the title, and Reese is just waiting on the other shoe to drop until next season starts. He's like, "There's another game. There's another game. They're going to
lose their first game." I'm like, "See, told you guys. Like, not even the same team. Half the team. With the way college sports goes, like half the team could enter the transfer portal." And I'm just like, I was right, guys. Like, they didn't win.
I called it. Nate, what about you, buddy? Greg was saying, it is obviously heartbreaking for UTSA, but now bases loaded. Pond is full of Bruins, and these Roadrunners are just trying to find a way out, man. Get those bats back. What does it mean for UCLA, though, going to Omaha, most likely?
I really have not liked this UCLA team all the way through. I covered the Los Angeles regional last week. I thought that was probably the weakest regional out of all of them, or one of the weaker regionals. And I'm just not sold on them. I don't know. I haven't seen anything that like makes me like fall in love with them. I know that they had like some big offensive games in the regional, but like they're also playing UTSA right now, who's one of the weakest, supers teams. So I'm just not sure, man. Like I would just go up and down the list. Like I might like Louisville more than UCLA. Arizona, I think, is probably better than UCLA at this point. Like other than like Duke, Murray State, I think like UCLA would be towards the bottom of like my Omaha teams.
I don't know. I don't know that. And Tennessee strikeout looking to end the 8th for the Vols. We put up one. but having runners still in the bags obviously stings. It's kicking the shorts, if you will. I don't know. A team with Rock Chalowski on it, I can never count completely out. So I'm gonna push back a bit and just say a player that talented, you can never count out that team. But obviously, I think the nation would have loved to have seen UTSA roll into Omaha. What a wonderful thing to have seen that big of an underdog. And guys, there's still a chance. The Racers, Murray State with a 19-run victory today. Not 19 runs over Duke, but 19 runs scored by Murray State today. I guess everybody's going to be going Racers in terms of an underdog. Man, UTSA. I asked Will just a little bit ago, guys. I thought the wheels had fallen off. All the wheels had fallen off, and we were approaching, car on fire on the side of the highway status for Tennessee. But I think, like you guys said, when Owens was hit in the arm and couldn't come up with the clean fielding just a couple of innings ago, and then the hit by pitch call getting overturned, I think we've seen the wind completely sucked out of the sails of the Roadrunners here, guys.
You got to put up a run in the first couple innings,
Yep, you do. You have to. And it's disappointing. It's disappointing.
So let's say Duke beats Murray State. Who's like the easy to root for fun team at taking all rooting interests out of the way in Omaha? Who's like the team?
That's tough.
It's hard to find one. Like Arizona, maybe? I
was going to say Arizona might be
Oregon State being an independent might be like kind of fun.
Throws me off every time I look at them and I see 0 wins in conference. I'm like,
yeah. There's something perverse
Coastal?
about that. I agree with you, Reese.
I think that just reinforces my love for Coastal. I want Murray State to be able to root for him. I think this just makes me like Coastal even more, being like the one kind of outsider team, because I think Oregon State's a Power 4, especially with this kind of schedule they play and stuff too.
Yeah.
I think that makes me like Coastal even more.
Yeah, it's going to be hard for me to root for anyone other than Arkansas, just based on the way the game's looking. It's going to be hard for me to have anything other than Arkansas, but I mean, just again, depending on how it goes here in a minute, when we get LSU, West Virginia fired up, that'll tell me a lot for who my allegiances lie to. But Nate, again, like you said, it's hard to go against Coastal. That's such a fun team that's emerged as a real power. It's going to be fun to see how that develops. Do we have – I was about to say, do we have somebody hurt now for UTSA? Oh. Yeah, it looked like the spikes might have clipped his foot, made for kind of a rough landing.
It's a crazy catch.
Yeah, absolutely. Very heads-up play there to have the wherewithal to kind of go aerial for that catch and still come away with the ball, regardless of if you make the tag or not. But we'll have to keep eyes on that as, oh boy, top 9 in Fayetteville. And guys, I'm starting to feel it. I'm starting to feel the sadness creep in. We've got Dylan Loy on the mound. It's starting to set in. I'm starting to get the sads. And that's another one for UCLA. Oh, boy.
Picked a tough slate to stream.
Yeah, absolutely. We definitely did. But it's been fun.
You're ranking Giants prospects.
How's that going, Reese?
Terrible. I'm at 18. I need 2 more prospects. I don't think they have 2 more in the system.
If you want, Reese, I'll trade you. I can rank 2 Giants prospects, and you can finish up my 500.
No, I'm good. You shouldn't be admitting that with Greg on the air, by the way.
Greg already knows. I am a to the wire, hate my list kind of guy. I'm not telling him anything he doesn't already know.
Okay, good. I just want to make sure we're not getting you in trouble.
How about a home run by Brent Iredale in Arkansas. Hadn't been enough. Hadn't been enough. We need to get back to that 9-run lead. Really be satisfied here.
I need one more.
That kid is awesome. Wow.
Greg, following along in my weird question asking of people, who's your favorite prospect?
Ooh. Let me pull my list up here. I have many.
Owen Casey.
500 favorite prospects.
So right now, I'm going to say Bubba Chandler's my favorite prospect.
Good pick.
That's a great pick.
We got to talk to him last year at the Futures game, and he's just super down to earth. He could have the biggest head in the world for being the top pitching prospect out there, but he's very level-headed, understands what he has to do, gave up hitting, which I know a lot of guys don't like doing when they're a two-way player. But he knew that's what he needed to do to get himself to the next level. And he's done it. And we've seen that with so many guys that have gone from two-way players to one-way player. Once they focus on that one, it really elevates them. And he's done that this year in spades, obviously. So I'm really pulling for him. I'm excited for when he finally gets the call. I mean, he should have got it about 2 months ago, but yeah, he's number one for me.
I love that.
Greg, who's the best?
Hey, Greg, who's your favorite Giants prospect?
Who's your 19th favorite?
I need one more prospect. Who's your 20th favorite?
Hold on. I think I do have 20 ranked. Hold on.
Oh my goodness.
This is huge.
What about Reggie Crawford, Reese? Is he going to do anything?
No.
Okay.
I don't think so.
Oh, I got one. Here
He's
you go.
He's not on.
I got
He's
you.
not on the
name.
preliminary 20.
I got you a Drew name. John Michael Bertrand. He's got to be like 38 at this point, but boy, he was awesome in college. There you go.
Listen, there's a lot of old for the level players in the system. I was like, oh, Jonah Cox, he was good last year. He's not been good this year. Trying to
John Michael Bertrand. There you go, Reese.
John Michael Bertrand.
I don't know what he's done this
Everson
year.
Arciega ranked.
I do not. He might make it.
Where's
I can
Bo,
give you my
Bo Davidson?
19. Bo Davidson is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th.
Nice.
That's a good ranking for Bo.
You have Dakota Jordan.
Eldridge. I got Dakota Jordan 11th.
11.
I think there's a lot of swing and miss there. It's pretty bad.
There is a lot of swing and miss. I don't even like Dakota Jordan. I think he should be higher than that.
Let's see. I'll give you guys my list right now. Eldridge is obviously 1. DeJesus Gonzalez, that's 2. Carson Wisenhunt, I almost put him at 2. James Tibbs the third is my 4th. Bo Davidson, Johnny Lovell, Rainer Arias. That's a name I don't even. I watched some video, and I'm not even gonna. Last name's Kamaya, pitcher in the complex level.
Try it.
Argenius.
Okay.
Victor Barracoto, Jacob Christensen, Dakota Jordan, Carson Gutierrez, Carson Seymour, Joe Whitman, Mason Black. Basically, I think all 3 of those guys are the same guy, and I think they're all like back end. They're all back end, like 5 starters if it all works. Lisbel Diaz, Sabine Ceballos, Jack Chayote, I think is how I'm going to pronounce it. He's got a really cool changeup, and it's kind of about it. And then Averson Artegia, because I still believe in him. I have a 19. I need one more.
I got a guy.
You got a guy?
Shane Rademeyer, Rademacher. I've seen him pitch a couple times in person this year, and he had like 10 perfect innings in a row in 2 starts this year. Not a pedigree guy, but took a real jump this year.
Here's a guy you can look up as well from last year's draft class. He was my number 116 FYPD guy, Jeremiah Jenkins, first baseman, had a decent debut, hit for power. So I don't know what he's done this season, of course, but there you go. Try that.
I'm guessing Walker Martin has no chance.
Walker Martin is no. I'm not. He's not going to make the list. Matt doesn't even have him on his. I could just steal a name from Matt, but that's not the way I like to rank my prospects. Mahai. I don't even Ahuna. He's not making the list. I've seen him enough. I don't need to see him anymore.
When a Tennessee fan says no, don't rank Maliauna, you know what you're doing is correct.
He was
don't
one that got in trouble for. He got in trouble, right? Like for his, like he had a less than legal conversation before he was technically in the portal, right? That was like what was happened with him.
Correct.
Hey, I'm
Braxton Roxby.
I don't want to get
fun reliever.
Roxby's one. Cale Lansville is another one.
I don't know if relievers in the top 20 is the play, but
this is a system where relievers in the top 20
I think
might be the play.
Nate, you know better than that. Relievers are always worthy of the conversation.
I know. Roxby isn't like a top tier reliever though, but then again,
you're the reliever system. Guy.
I know.
Hey, what about Hunter Dryden?
Hunter Dryden is like on like the precipice for me. If I don't find someone, he's the next name up. I'm just trying to brainstorm. I've seen Jacob Bresnahan a couple times. It's fun.
Where is Whitworth, Washington?
Not too close to me, but are you talking about Whitworth, the university?
That's where he went, Hunter Dryden.
Yeah. I've heard the name. I need to figure this out.
He was drafted last year in the 17th round.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
As we're talking about Giants lists for the site, guys, 2 out, 3-1 count. UCLA looks like they've got the hammer raised for the final blow, the final nail in the coffin for the Roadrunners.
What is going on in LSU? Why is this game not started?
It was weather, maybe?
Oh, I didn't know if they were waiting.
I thought all the rain had passed, but maybe they are waiting on a game to conclude.
I submitted my Padres list if you guys want me to talk about that too to Matt.
Just maybe the top 3.
Top 3? Actually, that's what I told him. I said this Padres list this Padres list might as well not exist after 3. Leo DeVries, Ethan Salas, Cash Mayfield, Cale Fountain, Humberto Cruz, Cobb Hightower, Tyson Neighbors, Isaiah Lowe, Tavares Tiers, great last name, Ryan Burgett, Brandon Nett, Victor Figueroa, Tirso Ornelas, because he has to make this top 20. Like this shows you how bad the system is. Jagger Haynes, Victor Lazarago, Romeo Sanabria, Boston Bateman, Lamar King, Bradley Rodriguez, and Brian Valzar.
Thank you for having me.
Figueroa and Sanabria need to be higher on the list. I love that Tavares Tiers got a mention in the top 10, though. Big fan. Go GBO. Sad GBO, though. GBO.
Honestly, after about 3, you could throw these names in a random name generator, and I'd agree with you.
That works.
Actually, no, I like Cale Fountain a little bit more. I think he's being slow played.
You had Tyson Neighbors on that, right? I heard that, right?
Yeah, they're better than a Tyson Neighbors shout.
I love Tyson Neighbors. He's a top 10 prospect in that system.
Attaboy. Love that.
I don't want to disclose Matt's list, but he is not as high on the Tyson Neighbors experience as I am.
Well, if you've got Neighbors that high, Bradley might be worth a shot. I mean, he might be better than him.
It's a good point. Aim's closer to the majors. See? The problem is that I don't know what to do with these with these last 2 lists. Everything else is perfect, I think.
I thought it was a cool discussion you guys had about what goes behind making a list with Matt Thompson.
Oh, thanks.
Because I do mine differently than even you guys do too. Yeah.
Ooh, let's get into list discussion. I think that's something I'm going to ask. I'm going on Chris Blessing's podcast this week. I feel like I've been hyping that up a lot more than Chris has. I'm going to ask him his list process. Because I'm fascinated. I want to get better at this.
Oh, Reese, I'm sorry, but the way you said that was awful. I feel like I've been popping it up a lot more than Chris has. Oh man, that was funny.
I love Chris. Chris is the best. If he ever comes across,
he's great. He's great.
What's your process? What's your process, Greg?
So unlike, I know Matt kind of starts his list from scratch every single time, and I don't know how I could ever do that. He's just got a mind for it. I think it's all in there. I have to write things down and see things. So I have an ongoing list and I'm always tweaking. So whenever I hear a name or listen to a podcast where I hear something about it, I'm saying, okay, I got to look more into that guy or look more into this guy. So I'll put a little note or highlight a guy and I'll go back to it and adjust it. I also have my list set up to rank by position and by team. So I'll go into those tabs and take a look at, do I think that guy's a better prospect on the Padres, or do I think that guy's a better first baseman? That kind of helps me see where they are in my big list, because 600 is a huge list, right? So you kind of get lost in the weeds when you do that. And then obviously I'll go to PLI Plus and take a look at who's popping this year and use that tool. Super underrated tool, especially with you can see how the guys are week to week moving up and down the list now, which Smata, thank you for that. But yeah, I'm just constantly tweaking it. I don't go away from it. There's not a day where I don't adjust it. So maybe I'm a little bit odd that way, but I just enjoy it. So
I don't think there's a wrong way to rank prospects. I think is a discussion that I like to. I mean, some people have different processes than others. I like stress over it. Like I'm like, one thing I do too, especially because I only go to 100, is I break off the tiers, the OFP tiers, and then I rank them by the OFP tier. That makes it a lot easier for me. But when you start to get to the 50s and the 55s, like that's when I start to really stress about it. Because like the 60s and this, if there is a 70, they sort of rank themselves at this point. Like it's just kind of like, how do I want this to go? But the 50s is where I start to stress. I'm like, should I value? Obviously, because I do it from a more real life perspective, I'm valuing defense a lot more than I think fantasy. Like than you would in a fantasy list, right? Not that defense isn't important. I kind of want to start asking. That's going to be something we're going to start asking more people. Is like, what's their list making process? Because I find it to be fascinating.
Yeah, Reese. This year I've added in your scouting grades into my list as well, and that's kind of helped me adjust players up and down too. And for players like your Jason Dominguez grade, I think was a 45. I'm pretty sure, and he kind of stuck out like a sore thumb at the start of the season. I'm like, why doesn't he not fit with the rest of these guys? I have him ranked top 10, but his scouting grades were not the same. So I had to look in a little bit deeper at it and kind of verify why I had him there and stuff like that.
I was just lower on the defense, and I think that's what ended up becoming. I think I was a little bit light on the bat for that prospect for him, but I think that I was right on the defense.
Really quickly, guys. Two notes. Two notes. UCLA stamps their ticket to Omaha. UTSA falls 7-0. Heartbreaking loss for the Roadrunners. I think it's been pretty well in hand for a while, though. Secondly, nearly as important, Tennessee with a double potentially to the left field wall with one out, bottom ninth. So, I mean, I'm not saying something's happening, but then finally, another thing to note, Brandon Payne has returned from the grocery store. Bean dip with the hint of lime chips hits like Samuel Basayo. Brandon.
Glowing endorsement.
Reese, I feel like we're going to need to send help Brandon's way.
I'm going to have to call for a wellness check.
So, Greg, chime in here. I'm not going to sit here and act like bean dip is awful. Nate, it's a funny recurring bit. In the right situation, bean dip is good. It's not a dip I would choose above salsa, guac, or cheese dip, but bean dip is good. Greg, curious your thoughts on bean dip.
I mean, it's definitely a must at a Super Bowl party, but I think if you're choosing 2 or 3 for just streaming a college baseball game, it's definitely not in my group.
I've never bought that dip that he bought. I see it in the grocery store all the time. I'm convinced that it's like for decoration.
It's been there for a while.
It's sitting there, Reese.
It's been there for a while. It might be expired.
Yeah, Brandon, check the date. We're not sure what's going on with that. Brandon, having a good time with us. He knows we're just messing. He knows we're just messing about.
All right, my list is submitted. Now I get to re-rank top 20s.
This feels, I'm very sad right here, guys. Preemptively sad. Now, it's not over. Senior pinch hitter Colby Backus is at the plate for the Vols. But I'm just, My heart's hurting, guys. My heart's hurting.
Dang, this is the first time since 2013 that UCLA's been back. It's been a long time for them.
That's been a long time. We're seeing some droughts snapped with Louisville, Coastal, UCLA now. A lot of
Nate,
history.
Can you speak as a player when you know it's your last game and the game is still going on? Can you kind of speak to that a little bit? Because some of these guys are going through that right now.
Man, yeah. So I actually didn't even pitch in our playoffs this year. We went 2-out in our conference tournament, and we never had a lead. I never had an opportunity to pitch, and then the last game comes around, and it's win or go home, and we gave up a 5 spot in the 7th inning. Our starter did, and at that point, down 6 or 7 in the last couple innings, everyone starts to feel it, right? You're like, this is probably it, right? And it's not like you don't believe you can come back. It's just man, this is probably it. And then at that point, I leave the bullpen because I'm like, well, I'm probably not going in at this point. I don't know. I didn't get the ceremonial pinch hit or last inning or whatnot. I just went back to the dugout and just sat with my boys, man. And then that last out happens, and there's just nothing. We stayed at the field for 2 hours right after the game and just cried, dude. It's the most emotional thing I've ever done in my life. And that you can point to a play in the game where you're just it finally hits you that oh wow, we might not actually win this, because it never crosses your mind that you won't win a game and that your career will be over. So it's a really weird 3-inning watching experience when I just wanted to cheer on my boys one last time and try and soak it in before it was real. It's a hard thing. Yeah.
Final out. 0-1 count to pinch hitter, my boy, Jay Abernathy.
I like that they're pinch hitting guys.
I'm really happy that Jay's getting an at-bat here. I was really happy to see him play so much for us earlier this season. I'm so excited to watch him grow.
We have a chance to have 3 Pac-12 teams in Omaha, former Pac-12 teams in Omaha, if Oregon State can pull it off.
Oregon State still kind of pack. Pack.
Yeah.
Pac-2-ish.
Well, they're in their pack. They're the only ones. Well, Washington State too, but
go Cougs.
Drew, does Tennessee just reload? They've got a lot of guys that are going to be drafted and probably sign. What does this team look like next year? Sorry.
I'm sorry.
Ask that question.
Come back to me if you don't care. But I'm happy to answer it because I love the recruiting class a lot. Not that we're going to get any of them. 1-2 count. Abernathy fighting. I love Jay Abernathy so much. Kid is a boss man, and that's a quote because he's from Cobb County, baby. Brock Chalowski speaking in LA right now today. 2 for 5 with 2 singles and a steak for the Golden Spikes semifinalist. Greg, don't let me forget the question you asked because it's such a good one. But I can feel my heart in my throat right here, and that could be it. Nope, another foul. Okay.
I ended up going with Nate Furman for those keeping track at home.
I'm sure one of our 768 was keeping track.
Somebody was really curious.
The one Giants prospect fan out there.
Hey, he's
sitting at home.
That content, right, Reese? Normally,
what?
You got to pay for that content normally. That's a sneak peek.
Exactly. Subscribe to Prospects Live for the price of well, you can't even buy an overpriced coffee anymore for $5. You can get as much content like that.
Let's go.
Wow.
Jay Abernathy bomb. Oh, I just about swore. Oh my gosh. First homer of the year. Oh, Jay Abernathy, you are my hero right now, dog. This is so out of reach, but just one shot that felt so good to see.
You could buy one hot dog at the Tennessee-Arkansas game, or you could have 2 Prospects Live subscriptions. Choice is yours.
Oh, man. Okay, I need a fidget tool.
It's fun not having a team that really does well in college baseball.
What do you mean, Reese?
So
You're a
I can
Tennessee fan.
Oh yes, of course. But I mean, I don't really have any other rooting interests because if I did, I'd be like, I don't. Whenever I watch with teams that I care about, the Tigers, the Lions, the Red Wings, the Pistons, I'm a big pacer. I walk around and I just walk in a circle during the game. I get my steps in. I couldn't imagine doing. I'd probably be doing it now if I was like a Arkansas or Tennessee fan.
The fact that we've done this is a testament to how much I love you guys because I cannot. I never want to watch a game that means this much to me on a stream ever again. I feel like I am the worst of myself right now.
You're a good fan, Drew.
You are a good fan.
Thank you, guys. And I'm glad to be with my boys. If it's going to come to an end, it's almost like again I'm watching it with the boys. Hey, another guy played for us a lot this year, Ariel Antigua.
Reese, should you and me just pick random SEC teams?
Please don't.
And
Please
just
don't.
become a fan.
Don't, because at this point that'll piss me
Start
off.
saying it just means more.
Actually,
You're
I was
always
feeling
welcome to say it means more.
I've always wanted to be a fan of something good.
Nate, stop.
I'll become a Mizzou fan.
Oh, a fate worse than death.
Shout out to our editor Spencer. He's a big Mizzou fan. He's
Yeah.
very big into it. He follows the recruiting and everything for the football team.
God love him. Hey, their football team had some killers these past couple of years.
I think I saw someone write an article that Mizzou baseball had one of the most embarrassing losses they've ever seen. So it's only up from there, fellas.
It's like how I'm trying to get Kyle to just become a Bushnell super fan for no reason at all.
That would be so
why
cool.
Why don't I just pick a mid-major, man? Niagara University. I ride with you.
Oh, come on.
Binghamton.
Very uncharacteristic of Fouch right here. He has been lethal out of the pen for Arkansas, so got to be some nerves, Nate. Just to touch on that really quickly, the nerves in this situation. Playoff, the team is sitting and waiting on you to pull one more out. What's that like, buddy?
Yeah, man. I was blessed to not be like a nerve guy because I was just like I was the guy who threw slow and all that. So it was just like I'm just happy to be here. And that's the final out right there.
Damn. On a brighter note, my now Mizzou baseball team had a 3.284 ERA during the season, or GPA. Sorry,
They're smart.
They're student athletes.
Yet they put the student first.
That's hilarious.
Love you, Greg.
Love you too.
This is tough, man. Man, Arkansas, bro, I'd hate to be any other team looking at Arkansas in Omaha. God bless. Whew.
Does the whole state shut down when Arkansas goes to Omaha?
Pretty much.
Is it like every bar, every restaurant has the game on?
Yeah.
That's cool. I wish I lived in an area like that.
Boots on the ground.
It just means less where I live.
Man, that's too
My
bad.
Mizzou Tigers will pull it off one year.
They
Maybe
did
I
go
can
to
donate to their NIL collective.
You should. They
Maybe
went to
that's what I'll
Texas
do.
A&M and swept the Aggies, Reese. That was the biggest feather in their cap this year. They swept Texas A&M at home.
I will submit my stadium payouts to the NIL collective for Mizzou to fix them.
Is Mizzou like the most out-of-pocket SEC team?
Yeah, it feels weird.
Yeah, I still feel like they need to be.
Vanderbilt and everything but baseball is kind of a weird one.
I like Vandy football really kind of, man, Diego Pablo
actually got
turned
good, you're
heads
right.
this year, yeah.
You're
But
right.
oh good, we're getting to relive my heartbreak. That's fun.
Turn it off, Drew.
I need to. I think I'm going to just turn it off. Yeah. I just need to put it. Squeeze Play is doing this to me. Like ESPN fires their journalists and then they do this. Horrible.
Stupid LSU game hasn't started yet.
Yeah, what's up with that? Reese, go tell West Virginia, tell your boys to get going.
I'll talk.
What was it
Now
you
I
said
can't
the
even
other
watch it.
day?
I have to add to the watch list.
Wasn't it Nate? You said, "Yeah, Reese is just drinking the water in West Virginia." Reese said, "Yeah, it's just moonshine." Underrated. One of the best lines from On Deck, most recent episode. So, oh, good lord. Well, Greg, walk me through the emotion right now. Like you said, man, it's just different in Arkansas because that's the team the whole state roots for, and they've reached the pinnacle.
Yeah, I think that's 3 years in a row, right?
I believe. Not sure.
2 years ago was the heartbreak where they dropped the foul pop-up when they could have won.
I believe you're right. I'm looking now. Let's see. Last time was 22. So incredible, though, that they're. I mean, and again, that just kind of adds to the history, right? Arkansas back, UCLA back after years, Louisville back after years, Coastal back for the second time since their championship. And we're just adding to it as we go because we've got later tonight a critical game for Oregon State and Florida State. Another must win for Reese, your Mountaineers, against LSU.
Well, I've abandoned my Mountaineers because I'm now a Missouri fan. We won 16 games
right.
last year, but yes,
Of course. Sorry.
No. I'm excited to see how that goes. Have they announced who the starters are for Florida State, Oregon State is?
Let's do a quick search on the Twitter machine and see if we can find out.
Oregon
that should go
State
swimmingly.
be, Kleinschmidt.
You never know what the Twitter search function is going to give you.
Yeah, absolutely. So
I was looking at Bryce Eldridge video to retweet Will's video. I did not get baseball videos, let me tell you.
Uh-oh. Let's see. I'm seeing. Okay, that can't be right. Because we've already seen Volini and Whitney, haven't we?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
It should be Kleinschmidt.
So was Kleinschmidt supposed to pitch last night for Oregon State and did not?
I thought he was just their third starter. He's the only one that they hadn't used yet. I don't know. Maybe I'm just way off here.
That's okay. Let's try a different source. Let's see. Hey, if anybody at home, if you're watching and you happen to know who the starters are, drop it in the comments. Guys, I don't know what you all are thinking, but we've just crossed the 3-hour mark for streaming. We got to watch the duration of 2 games that were entertaining, although not particularly close. Got some good discussion in, obviously. What are you guys' plans? What are we looking like for streaming purposes for the rest of the day? Are we looking to wind down here?
Yeah, I think with only one game on at a time, I think we might just be looking ahead to Omaha.
Yeah. I can't
Let's
see anything.
We just
College
have to
baseball
look
needs
at
to get it to.
lower-rated Padres and Giants.
Hey, I've submitted my list. I've decided that that's that's Nate Furman is the 20th prospect. Someone has to be. Who's going to be the last person to turn in their dynasty list? Let's talk about that.
Matt Thompson.
Matt Thompson? Yeah, I figured. That was the betting favorite.
I don't know.
I'm
not feeling good. I'm not feeling good about mine right now. Like, as a matter of fact, when we finish, I'm going to go and have dinner with Mallory, and then I need to work on my list for the rest of the evening. So we'll see what happens. Man, that's so disappointing.
Who is a prospect, Greg, that you came away with surprise on how highly you ranked them? That you didn't expect to rank as high?
So maybe a guy I move down and then back up again.
I want to keep it as open as possible. It can be positive or negative.
So I will say that I pushed Jet Williams up a bunch.
Oh,
And I had him outside my top 100 last time. He's now inside my top 50.
You may balance me, buddy.
I did not expect to do that, but he looks different this year than he did last year.
Jeez, you're gonna make me bump up Jet Williams, aren't you?
I have a name that I put in my top 100 that no one else has in their top 100. I guarantee it.
You guarantee it? I haven't finished my list yet. That could be damaging, Greg.
Okay.
message it to me.
No, just say it out loud. That's more fun. If anybody's watching, it's a good teaser. I won't do it unless it just makes total sense.
Jackson Wiggins of the Cubs.
That's a sick shout.
Oh, dude, I love Jackson Wiggins.
That's a sick shout. Golly. Dadgummit, Greg. That's good.
I'm not a fan of the JAXON, but that's a different thing entirely.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
It's a Gen Z right there.
And it's better than Braden, Aiden, Caden. I'll take that.
I'm
All right,
trying to think
guys.
of who's.
I'm getting the signal. I got to get out of here.
Well, that is all right. Hey, I appreciate you joining us, Greg. It has been fun. I'm glad that you could come as sort of the angel of death for the Tennessee season, wearing none other than Arkansas red. So thank you for being here with us, man. Tell the folks at home where they can find you in between streams and with what you're doing.
Yeah, at Greg Hoop Camp, we're just working on our update to the top 600 prospects list, which should come out this week. It's a lot of movers, a lot of shakers. So we're excited about it. I'm just excited overall with what we're doing, guys. As a site, we're doing some big things. We've got some awesome people, and yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Greg is right. Well said, buddy, and thank you again for joining us. I think we're going to be not too far behind you if I read the room well a moment ago. So, it's been a pleasure having you, Greg.
All right.
So you have.
See
Be
you,
careful,
boys.
buddy.
See you, Greg.
Later, Greg.
Happy to have Greg join us for a couple minutes. That was a great time. And boys, we are winding down the stream. Reese, how's the ranking going? Are you all wrapped up?
I'm done ranking. Now I got to write some reports, but that's something that doesn't take that long. I have to. I mean, I don't know. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good about my list. We'll see how Matt and I's combined list comes out, and then I'm going to start re-ranking AL East, NL East. Just go through my top 20s, freshen those up, and then I'm going to get those out to the boys so that we can start working on the top 100.
Good too. That's going to be fun. Nate, what do you got on tap for the rest of the evening?
I'm gonna go do amateur hour, which I'm excited. Adam and Trevor are awesome dudes, so that'll be fun. I'm working on my top 2,000 prospect list.
Yeah. Hey, how's that going? You've teased it on the Twitter machine, and I'm excited. You know, the race for 1,631st prospect is a hot one.
I think I'm doing it because it's so funny, and I don't think it's like a good idea or smart or does anything, but I just think what's the biggest prospect list you guys have ever seen?
1,000.
So what if I just double it and give it to the next guy?
I think that'd be great. I think you should.
I think it's hilarious. I just think it's so funny, and it's also helping me with my prospect knowledge because I can learn all the deepest guys. So that's like my side project right now. Closer hierarchy updates coming out soon. So finishing that up, we got a new app that looks beautiful, and then I'm working on automating player cards for the Prospects Live website, so we can start doing that. I think that's gonna be huge. I gotta learn how to code a little bit better, man. Copilot's helping me out a lot right now.
Speaking of looks beautiful, player cards. They're looking great.
Thank
They're
you.
looking great.
Stay tuned.
Absolutely. Reese, any final notes? Any plans for the rest of the evening we ought to know about?
Let's see. I have the DSO weekly rundown. I've got to start writing down names and figuring out who I want to write about tomorrow for that. Obviously, we have on deck. I'm excited about this next episode. We have, let's see, what else do I have going on? I have rankings. I have trying to figure out another article series. So if people have an idea for that, I want to write a Tuesday and a Thursday article once I get done with reports and everything like that. But outside of that, just normal Prospects Live stuff. If you see something, you can kind of just assume that I had some hand in it as I continue to lap the field and content pushed out. I think it was Nate and Will were saying they're fighting for second place. I don't know. Coming for Smada. I don't think that's possible.
I know. I also wanted to shout out where the people can find me. I don't know if we're there yet, Drew.
Oh, no, I think that you should. I feel like you're going to get your bit in that we normally say for on deck, but yeah, why not?
It's everywhere now. It's going to be a traveling bit. You can find me on the Jersey Mike's app. Here, this is my code. So scan this when you check out, and give me your shore points. I'm a big shore point guy. I'm pretty close to getting a giant. So help a brother out.
Do you want to know a hack? Don't get the giant. Then you have 2 regulars. That's what I do.
But the giant's less points than the 2 regulars. What do you mean?
No, it's not. The giant is exactly the same amount of points as 2 regulars.
I love a giant, though.
I also
think about how fond he is of Will Thompson. I mean, it writes itself.
What is your order at Jersey Mike's?
Any kind of meat Mike's Way, doesn't matter. I want Mike's Way thrown into my mouth at terminal velocity.
Phrasing there, buddy.
I feel like you get the point.
Yeah. I've recently switched my order to totally move off to a more appropriate subject. I used to be an Italian guy. Now I'm a club sub guy.
Mike's Way?
Mike's Way, of course.
Yeah, okay.
But no tomatoes. I don't like tomatoes. Something you guys will learn about me is I'm allergic to a lot of stuff. And the only thing I actually tell people I'm allergic to is tomatoes. I'm allergic to most fruits and vegetables. Eating is just it's like playing Russian roulette a lot of the time. What's going to bother me that day? Garlic, wheat, strawberries. That's just a lot.
Poor guy.
Milk. I'm allergic to milk. I think most people are.
I'll say that. I'm already having a bad day.
No. I'm just saying most people are lactose intolerant.
I guess. Reese, where can people find you between adventures?
If you, well, I'm also a big short points guy, but you can't. I'm not going to share my Jersey Mike's app, and that's Will's bit or Nate's bit. You can find me on Twitter at Reese P. White. You can find me on Instagram, not posting pictures of myself. You can find. I've almost thought about just doing a reoccurring bit of just posting. I don't know if you guys have ever seen John Cena's Instagram account.
Yes, it's amazing.
It's amazing. For those not at home, I want to read it word for word. No, I don't want to watch a reel about someone's bad tattoo. Okay, John Cena. For those not at home, welcome to my Instagram. These images will be posted without explanation for your interpretation. Enjoy. I wanted to do something like that. I don't know what I'm going to do. But, yeah, and I just want to say go Mizzou.
Okay.
I'm gonna show up to Pat the show with a Mizzou polo on. I'm just gonna see what happens.
Just see what goes down.
Where can they find you when you're not? Oh, the game's. It says it started. LSU.
What were you saying, Reese? I'm sorry.
It says D1 saying that the game started in LSU, West Virginia. I don't think that's true.
Nate, what's the tattoo on your arm right there?
There's a lot of them.
206. Oh.
No, that's the area code that I grew up in.
Beautiful. That'll be a good one. Tattoo talk. We'll save that for a future on deck, though. Without jumping the gun, guys, if for whatever reason you want to follow me, it's going to be a sad follow tonight. But you may do so on the Twitter machine at Drew is okay. It's written right there on the screen. At Drew is okay. Blue Sky is the same thing, although I think we've all pretty much given up on posting on Blue Sky. My Instagram sucks. Don't follow me there. Subscribe to Prospects Live. As low as $5 a month, you can get all kinds of amazing baseball analysts' thoughts and their work. We recently realized that I think the staff as a whole believes this is the strongest bit of content offering we've ever had at the site. And for my money, I think that that's accurate. So I guess that is going to do it. Nate, any final words before we wrap up?
No, thanks for hanging out with us, guys. I'm sure we'll probably be back next week at some point, and these live streams are not a bad idea.
They're not a bad idea. Reese, any words for the folks at home?
Watch on deck. Watch us on YouTube.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. If you enjoy this, you will likely enjoy On Deck. It's a lot of the same kind of analytic, scouting-minded, lighthearted baseball fun. I will say thank you to anybody associated with Tennessee baseball this year. It's been a pleasure following you, and I'm so happy to have had a great season. And I can't wait for next year on Rocky Top. That being said, boys, I guess we'll see them down the road, huh?
Yes, sir.
See you guys tomorrow.
Get it Mike's way.